It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him.
It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
What he means by pessimism is resistance. And that's what COINTELPRO was all about, stopping the resistance.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
We hide it in plain sight. One of Plato's greatest works was the allegory of the cave. I feel in order to understand the political matrix, we need only to look into this allegory. We first have to open our minds to the possibility everything is not as it seems, that things we've always known to be truth may be lies. For if we can't perceive the lies we've ingested, we can't see the bars on our mental conditioning. For that is how you walk out of the cave and see the political matrix. Okay. Oh, hello. It looks like I'm freezing up a little bit, so let me know if I appear to be freezing. Say, Brute Bones, Miss Lizzie Bones, the lady of the house, the lady of the show is here. I see Charmonique is in the building. Hey, Marcus, I'm having horrible anxiety attacks, but I'm so glad you're having a show. It will help me calm down. Yeah, since as many people hasn't piped in yet or filled into the show, if you have any questions, because I know normally you'll have something to ask me. Now's a good time. I can go on ahead and answer a couple of quick questions, and I will kind of go through a couple of stories real quick. Trying to get through some of the lighter stories before Teal hops in here. So in the meantime, I will go on ahead and hop to one of the stories that I noticed. So let me pull this up on the screen. Hopefully I tried to switch my resolution down on my camera, so hopefully it doesn't give me as many headaches or problems. So hopefully that helps. Let me know at all if you guys hear any problems with my sound, or if the computer gremlins start to get a little crazy with the screen. For today, that's right. Wait a minute. I guess I should probably at least go into the topics that I plan on talking about today on the show. We got to talk about Trump's health. I've heard some different things. I've heard people covering stuff. I've had theories about different things without any kind of tangible evidence or proof, so I didn't want to go forth with it. But we're gonna, I think it's Keith Edwards, the video that I have that I want to show, and probably go through it in entirety. Hopefully it doesn't get us a community strike. But I just want to kind of talk about some of the things that he brings up in there. I also want to talk about the U.S. troops to Venezuela. Let's see. I think we're heading Marcus there. No jobs, upward mobility, and they're directed. I'll answer that shortly. I do also want to talk about the Amanda Seals versus the 20 Black conservatives. I did a TikTok view of that video of that, and I will show that. And I will kind of save that till Teal hops in the building. I know that she said that she wanted to start covering more of these 20 versus 1, these surroundeds. And I know some people's opinions. They feel like they don't feel it helps the discourse, but I believe it does, because there are a lot of people who don't know people hold some of the viewpoints that they hold. And it's better to confront that. There's a lot of people who believe that, oh, this is just online, and people say this stuff online, but they don't really believe that in real life. Without these surroundings, you don't get to see it. I don't feel like it spreads a mentality. It just sheds light on it. And the best disinfectant that you can have to bad ideas or horrible thinking is to shine light on and expose it. And a lot of times that's where most negative thought patterns and behaviors generate from. It's when people get isolated into bubbles and only surround themselves with like-minded people. And therefore, you don't have any kind of outside check to bounce back on your ideas and say, wait a minute, you guys sound a little bit crazy here. But that's another reason why I think that it's important for us to do that. So I'm going to cover some of that. What was the other thing that I have? Let me cancel this real quick. I want to cover those parents and the missing child. There has been an arrest, and I will give the information which I've found so far. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that. Sometimes things which happen out here in California, it's easy for me to think that becomes nationwide news. It means, and sometimes it is. So in case there's something that you guys haven't been following, I will go into that story. I have a couple of other things that I want to talk about. But that said, let's hop into a couple of stuff. Yes, perfect comment. Says Amanda is amazing. She was educating all of the people, not only in the group, also internet. It was needed. Well said. Couldn't have been said any better. It is needed. And I don't think people realize also how tough it is to be in a debate format like that. When you're doing a debate format like that, you honestly have to really pick and choose your arguments and what to push back on, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's so diametrically opposed to the way you view the world and the way you think. And it's also on a clock. So it's not like she had forever to sit there and go back and forth with each person. So you got to pick and choose. And I felt like for how she handled each person, I have a hard time seeing too many people doing much better. That said, I will try to go in and pick apart some things which I feel like if she had more time, more than likely she would have got to, but just different observations that I saw. And I'll show also my video to kind of go into some of that. Let's see. Where do you think the U.S. is headed, Marcus? There are no jobs, no upward mobility, and no one is reacting. It's very scary. I would say in a time like this, as far as the jobs and stuff, I would try to hone in on individually what we can do. Right now, for the masses as a whole, I don't have the greatest news. I think that something has to break first. And when you have a president who literally is trying to create his own reality and has surrounded himself with nothing but yes men and yes women who are just going to say, you know, whatever he says is great. Whatever he says, like, I mean, he's literally walking around with everything Trump said was right hat on now. So, and I don't know if you guys have seen like his cabinet meetings. They're literally like, you know, everything was so horrible under Biden, and in 100 days, you've just made everything so great. It's so wonderful under you, and you know, you are the greatest president America has ever seen, and America's at its best it's ever been. I mean, it literally sounds like something you'd hear out of North Korea, where they're just saying whatever they can say so that the dear leader doesn't throw them in a dungeon somewhere. So I don't have a great deal of a positive for the whole entire community. All I can say is that surround yourselves with people within your community and networks of people so that if you do face tough times or tougher times than you may be in, that you can have some kind of a form of safety net. I think a lot of the things which the Trump administration is doing, because they're doing it so rushed and so quick, and they're moving fast and breaking things that tech ideology. When you put that into practice in the real world, you don't have this, okay, one code went wrong, so it's not affecting anything major. This is something testing offline. No, you're dealing with actual living human beings. You're dealing with cities. You're dealing with infrastructure. You're dealing with nature. You're dealing with a bunch of different things that when you play those games, there's no easy fix. And when the rubber meets the road, when reality slaps these people in the face, it's going to leave us in some areas in some rough places, and some things are going to take a long time to recover from. So, in short, I would say that things always have to get worse before they get better. Chris H says, I saw bits and pieces of the Amanda Seals versus 20 Cons. At the time, I didn't have the energy to spend on conservative foolishness, but I was glad to see Amanda Seals go in. The reason why I think it's important to see it, because when you deal with people in our community who have these mindsets, if you don't have the arguments yourself, it helps you have the arguments. It helps you be able to come. You might be smart enough to kind of push back, but sometimes other people will help you formulate those arguments in a more succinct, more crisp, more sharp way, and that makes a difference. You might be able to explain it out and know and understand it perfectly, but sometimes it might be just something by putting your brains together with another person to be able to help you see things a little bit differently or explain it a little bit differently. Because different people that you deal with, they're going to obviously have different ways of going about it. Even if you see in that 20v1, there were certain people in there where she could have a conversation with, where they're trying to understand. And that actually surprised me. I actually expected not nearly as much of that. And we'll talk more about it when we get into it. But since you guys are asking about it, I'm giving kind of overviews before I dig into it in particular. But also you have the people who come in and they have their talking points. And they're going to rattle off a talking point, 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 and just keep going and keep talking. And you have to be cut in. You got to find your spot to stop this, cut that, let this one roll off your shoulder, and really pick and choose the way you want to handle the attack that's coming in at you, whether you want to dodge, slip, parry, counter, all those different things. So that's what you're doing verbally in this conversation, what she was doing very well. Also, you had some of the people where you really got to, instead of deciding to push back or have the dialogue, you got to sit there and actually take the time to try to investigate and understand this person. Because, for instance, I know I haven't had an interview in a while, but my interview style, which I like to do, is, I guess I don't have my banner going. Let me put my banner on. My interview style, which I've come to enjoy doing. I don't know why it switched to blue, but but my interview style, which I prefer, is to, if it's somebody I disagree with, try to talk to them, try to get an understanding on why they believe what they believe. I don't know why this thing is turning blue for some reason. There we go. But let me switch back in. So, and I see Nina is in the building. What's up, Nina? Atrix is in the building. Everybody's starting to file in, it looks like. Let's see. So yeah, I was saying my interview style. My interview style, which I prefer sometimes when I'm dealing with somebody who I feel is more adversarial. Oh shoot, Teal is in the building.
Okay, so just giving y'all a heads up. My show with Marcus and my show with Steve, I'm gonna have to be off camera until I figure out this school situation.
Oh, perfect. Cool.
I'm here, but I just gotta figure this shit out because I done got two mentors pull me to the side and they was like, "Hey, make sure you ain't got no wild shit going on in your life." And I was like, "Huh." And that's all you got to tell me one time. When they got real hood, they went real from, "Oh, good morning, Miss Martin. How are you?" to, "Let me highlight you over here real quick." And I went, "Okay, picking up what you putting down." They said, "Yeah, you young and you don't look 35. You look 25. So they really think that you dumb." So watch what you say. And I was like, "Oh, heard." So I'm going to pop my shit, though. Just going to do it behind my Ike Turner. So
no, I mean, I get it. I mean, and this is, since they gave that advice, then this is advice I'll just put out there. and I put this out there to anybody else who is thinking about getting into, doing what we do, or who has started something and doing what we do. My mindset in doing this, I always try to think about the internet. When you put something out on the internet, it lasts forever. So I want to be able to put something out and say something which down the road, I don't care if it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, down the road, I can stand behind what I'm saying and be able to have a defense for it. Whether I'm saying something against somebody, against something, or standing for something, and just kind of the way I present the content. Hopefully, if I get to, if let's say if we get to a higher state, that our content will still be worth being able to bring up and be relevant and still be able to glean some lessons from, down the road.
Yes.
And so, though I do want to have fun and all that, I do also want to try to leave you guys with something and hope that if there's anything I could give that can help anybody in any kind of way, that's my goal. So that's my advice that I would give. And of course, everybody got their own particular things. And so that's different advices. And you'd have to ask me a specific question to get a specific answer. But I guess last thing I'll say about how my interviewing style when dealing, because what I was talking about, Teal, is my interviewing style when dealing with somebody who's adversarial. And I know that we're not going to convince each other. And I know the audience more than likely knows that this person is they're out there. I let them expose themselves more. I ask them more questions. I let them expand out their full philosophy. And the more you do that sometimes, you give them enough rope. So that's also a philosophy. It doesn't always have to be, this rock'em sock'em back and forth contentious thing when dealing with somebody that you don't agree with.
Yeah, I've learned the better part of agree to disagree. That's a great, I don't know who created that statement, but high fives to that guy. Gal. Probably a guy that took credit if a girl made it up. But anyway, I definitely have gotten into the bag of okay and just leaving it alone. Because I hate to say it, somebody that knows that their point really ain't valid, they're gonna keep talking.
Yeah.
And they're gonna expose themselves. Boy, hit dog gonna holler, baby. Also, shout out to the person that came up with that. Because I'll let you talk yourself into the hole that you've already dug yourself into with me. And I'm gonna hit you with that's cool. It's cool. Well, I was just thinking that I said it was cool. Goddamn, it's cool. And once you got to get to that point, you just let them talk, cause they're gonna say some stupid shit that's really gonna be like, yeah, you a retard, huh? Yeah. Hard R.
Yep. Cause some of these people on the surface level, it might sound disagreeable, but they haven't really given you that. That's what I was waiting for.
No.
Just let them talk sometimes, and they will completely disrupt and tear apart their whole argument. I listen to it all the time with not only debates, just sometimes when I hear people who are speaking in public. Maybe it might be a news person, maybe it might be like I was just listening to something with Naftali Bennett not that long ago, and he basically was going on this long history of Israel and Zionism and stuff like that, and he completely cut himself off at the knees, not even realizing something he said. So, hey, especially when you're dealing with arrogant people like that, arrogant people are the best people to incriminate themselves. So, that said, let me pull up some of this little news rundown stuff, get this out of the way, and then we're going to get into more of the topics, more of the main topics. And some of these topics I'm chomping at the bit to hear Teal's take on it. I'm not gonna lie. So let's start off with a hot one right off the bat. Literally hot. So I don't know if this is true or not, but Ukraine strikes Russian nuclear plant, Moscow says. I don't even really know what to say to really follow that up. I mean, you striking nuclear plants, okay. You playing a very dangerous game. here. Let's see. Okay, so let's read a little bit of it. Ukraine attacked one of Russia's nuclear power plants and they spat over overnight drone attacks. Russian authorities said on Sunday as Kiev marked its Independence Day, or Kyiv, whichever one they pronounce it as, was congratulatory messages, including from U.S. President Donald Trump. The operators of the Russian nuclear power plant in Western Kursk region and the region's governor said in post to messaging app Telegram early on Sunday that Russian air defenses had shot down a Ukrainian drone close to the nuclear site short after midnight local time. Kursk border in northeastern Ukraine. Why it matters, it says. Much of the 3.5 years of full scale in Ukraine have been chased by concerns over safety of nuclear sites close to frontline clashes. Now, I will stop right there and not get into more because I don't want this to start getting very editorialized. But I just wanted to report that straight off the bat. What are your thoughts on that, too?
Okay, they just had a week. Okay, so Donald Trump just met with old boy.
Yeah.
I don't know who old boy it is. And then Donald Trump turned around and met with the other old boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should say old boy came here and met with Donald Trump, right?
Right.
And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you know what I mean? I done hung out with some grimy niggas. I done hung out with some niggas that'll fuck their own trap up and blame it on the next one. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I mean, if I got an attitude, why are you talking to my ops, bro? If I'm the first dude, you know what I'm saying? Why are you sitting down talking to my ops? Maybe I don't want peace. You ever think that? Maybe I just want what I want. And then Ukraine gonna come back and talk about some, we can't give you land, Russia. And Russia's like, what you mean you can't give me no land? That's what I want. And Ukraine's like, I can't do that. And Trump's like, well, we could just hold on for a second. He was like, no, fuck that shit. So the what better way to say y'all done came and fucked? Yeah, that dude. Hey, baby. What a better way to say to move, make some shit move than to be like, well, they fucking with us though. So can I have the land now? Oh, y'all still not giving it to me? That's cool. I'm about to take it. And this is his way of being able to take it. This is the killing of the Anastasia. Remember when Anastasia's daddy got killed? Archduke Ferdinand from World War I?
Yep.
It was set up. That shit. This is that. This that moment. This that setup shit that started the war. This is Pearl Harbor that got us in the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is that. This is our 2025 Pearl Harbor. Now, if it is true, but the thing is how true is it? Because like nuclear plant got blown the fuck up. Y'all got a what's the fuck Chernobyl going on over there? Like, are the dogs blue and pissing green liquid or something? Like, what's up with the kids? Is they face falling off?
Well, from what I gather and reading, they hit, but they didn't actually hit any of the vital sites of the nuclear plant.
What? So that was a waste.
Yeah, so it was like more of a failed attack.
Mm-hmm.
But the intent, because I look at it like this, like this dude is trying to like mess up your whole entire country. Like he's trying
to destabilize it.
The whole way I've looked at like the way Zelensky has went about this whole thing. Zelensky is not afraid to play dirty. And I don't think that he cares about hitting Russian civilians at all. I think all is on the table for him. He no different than what do you call him? The apple juice.
Apple juices? Yeah, they no
different. He is apple juice also.
He is.
So maybe that's just the way apple juice is played.
Have they ever played fair? I just watched the whole thing about the Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if y'all got Amazon Prime, they got some good shows. They might be false. I don't know, but it sounds good. But they had one, they were talking about Jesus. They were just talking about everybody, the Ark of the Covenant, things of that nature. Then they started talking about Jesus. And when they start talking about it, I'm like, damn, they was true as a bitch. Because they was like, and then the apple juices came in and fucked it up for everybody. And they always be coming in fucking it up for everybody, bro. And I'm not saying like the Hebrew Israelites or anything. I'm talking about the straight up trifling as I always want to use the Holocaust as my fucking scapegoat as apple juices. Because now it makes me want to be like, did the Holocaust really happen? Or are you just being guilty as y'all gonna feel this guilt apple juices? I don't like it. And if Russia is an apple juice, you know what I'm saying? Or plans to continue to support apple juices and they fuckery. I mean, when do we win? What's the prize now?
Oh, look at what Chris H throws in here. He says, "Nah, Marcus, believe it. The Ukrainians have been threatening the Zaporizhzhia nuke plant with drones. It's Ukraine's nuke plant under Russian control, and throughout the war, they have been trying to bomb it. So they're trying to get nuclear fallout to happen in Russia."
Damn, Zelensky is psychotic. Damn,
Chris. Yeah, that's and the thing about it is like, bro, that's still part of your land. You realize blowback can happen to you also. I mean, this dude is operating like a mad dog.
You don't care.
I mean, and so what this is setting up is if Russia decides to hit with tactical nukes or even hit him with a low payload nuke that does have fissile material, but now he's going to be the bad guy. Now he's going to be the bad guy.
Damn.
So, I mean, I look at it like this. This is a man who's desperate. Do you know that they just recently raised the Ukrainian military age? I think what was it, like 60 or 65?
So they got, well, I mean, the motherfuckers fight bears still.
Yeah, but when Russians are still streaming with a normal military, and you keep raising the age, and you running around like just snatching people off the streets, like taking to put them on the front line, and you throwing pregnant women out there, that tells me is you got manpower issues. I mean, I've heard that it's possible it can be up to 1 million Ukrainians that they've already lost.
Jesus.
So we're talking 1 million Ukrainians to about 150,000 Russians lost. And the Russians can keep going. That's the reason why I laugh at the European leaders that are like, no, you can't allow Putin to. What do you mean you can't allow Putin to do anything? You are not winning. I don't care what y'all give you. I don't care what you give Ukraine. Short of American troops and NATO troops marching in there and physically fighting this war, there is no way Ukraine wins this. And I've heard from NATO that's actually what they want, because they're under this mindset that, you know, he's the next Adolfo, and he's about to go march all the way across Europe and conquer it like Vlad the Impaler or something.
I know. I keep getting this wild feeling that that's what they think he's fitting to be. Like he's about to be, you know what I'm saying?
It's delusional.
Adolf Hitler, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't think he I ain't trying to be a dickhead or, but I don't even think he cares a fuck that much.
No.
He does not have Adolf Hitler's mindset. He might have a lot of apple juice mindset, but apple juice mindset's only for their immediate area. Does that, you ever notice that too?
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't never seen them expand the bullshit. Europeans definitely expand the bullshit. Crusade.
At most, I can see him going after the former USSR.
That's it. I could see him trying to resemble that because he grew up in that. He knows that.
Yeah, but about him trying to go in and conquer Germany, no.
Or the world, like this nigga is not peaking. No. Chill out, relax.
Well, here's another thing which I was watching on Preach. It's funny. Remember till we were talking about the population thing, right?
Yes. By the way, I started digging into that, bro. That's just another show. That's another episode. Jesus.
Yeah, because I want to go through country to country to country when we do it.
Oh, you know what? How about we do like when football season starts? Like we'll do one country episode. We don't do we'll break it up in different series, but we'll make
Or
sure we
just
touch it on every episode because we should just monitor it from here on out. To be honest,
or just different blocks in a general. Like we can go through like Europe for a portion.
yeah.
We can go through the Asian countries. Because I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to this, but it's an issue. Preaching Abba, they've just been talking about it lately. Also, and like for instance, just to give y'all a little teaser to it, Japan right now had what was it? They had over 1 million plus people passed last year, and only had 600,000 new births.
Oh my god.
So their population is not replenishing at the amount that it needs to. And the reason why that's an issue is because if your population doesn't like replenish, your society starts to collapse. You have to have a certain amount of people for the whole taxes, the social welfare state, all of these different things to go on. You gotta have enough jobs.
Where y'all getting y'all farmers from? Y'all gotta think elementary with this too. Like, where are you gonna get your farmer from? Because you ain't finna go outside and get that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where's your future? Yeah, it's gonna sound, it sucks. And I thought about it the other day, but it is what it is. Where's your future janitorial department? Because everybody gonna be pissing and shit until the end of time. That's one thing you definitely do until you die. So where are the people that's actually gonna take care of that? Because 9 times out of 10, what I've noticed is humans begin to get a little too entitled in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now there ain't no poop cleaners. Now there ain't no street sweepers. And you wonder why there's goddamn pollution all over the goddamn place. We ain't got no street sweepers no more. Remember back in the 90s on the East Coast, you could talk to your trash man. You knew who the fuck he was. He taught his kid how to be a trash man. Now you got a trash man family and shit. That's not real anymore. It was all of this whole get your college degree so you ain't got to scrub toilets like me. I get it, but we need that. It ain't gonna be me though. But then, did you hear what I said? But you see how I went, it ain't gonna be me though. You get what I'm saying? So now we're in a position where those people, unfortunately, who never had the funds to even be, maybe even possibly procreate, we'll bring that back into the population thing. Swing it back to you. There's so many individuals nowadays that don't even think about having kids or don't want to have kids just out of financial constraints, social norms, all types of wild ass reasonings and things in between. But like now, a section of our population that has died are probably the fucking trade workers. Do y'all understand that? Like, at least in our country, the main population of people that did not procreate, did not help with our population, and it's honestly helping it extinct. In a sense, it sounds terrible, but that's what it is. Are the trade workers? They're the motherfucking blue collars that probably fell off a goddamn scaffolding, ain't got no fucking health insurance or something. Now they can't send their fucking, didn't get that whole life term insurance and shit. Now their kid can't go to goddamn college. Or maybe their kid did go to college. Maybe they did put their kid through college, but now that kid is too bougie to want to fucking touch a toilet. Can't clean our streets. Those are just social constructs and things, societal things that are depleting when we decide to not procreate and have kids. But talk to our government about that because they fucked up our money. And since they fucking up our money still, I mean, who the hell really wants to have a kid when they broke as a bitch? Nobody. I mean, shit. That's why I ain't had no babies. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It honestly sounds like you came to a lot of the same conclusions. Having appreciate. I gotta remember to send you these videos. I keep talking about them and send them to you, but I never do. But yeah, just
you know my future husband Reza Islam be talking about it, so you know I went back down to deep dive. I mean, you gave me a good reason to go back and look at his videos and cry at the fact that he had a baby and got married on me, but it's okay.
No, it's one guy I looked at. I can't remember. I had saved it in I saved it for a while in my watch later stuff, and while I was at the gym, you know, unlike normal people who listen to music and stuff, I'm listening to lectures and documentaries.
Nope, same here.
So this guy was going in about the whole history of the whole eugenics movement, and then the what do they call it, the pro patriarch. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like a certain
that shit that follows that Peter Thiel mindset.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Peter Thiel pops up in it. It's this one Christian family. I can't remember what they are, but they're like multi-millionaires, and they got like 13 kids or something. And they're trying to push this mentality on everybody else. Say Michael is in the building. What's up, Michael? Yeah, but I don't want to get us too sidetracked on the population thing. We will come back to it. I just want to give you a little teaser on it, on something that we are going to bring up for later on after we go have everything more, ready and to go. Plus, we got plenty to cover today. So on that note, let's move on to this next story. I'm trying to hit the quick ones before we get into the longer ones too, because we got some stuff. I want to read this next story that caught my attention, came across my desk, and interesting. It says Justice Department gave Ghislaine Maxwell, or Gillen, as her brother pronounces it, Ghislaine Maxwell, a platform to rewrite history. Family of Epstein abuse victim says. The family of Virginia Giuffre said they are outraged by the agency's decision to release transcripts from Maxwell's bizarre interview with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. And if we don't know who Todd Blanche is, Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi are formerly Trump's defense lawyers who are now in the government. So, family members of prominent victim of Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse said they were outraged by Justice Department's decision to release transcripts from Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony last month to a federal prosecutor, arguing it provided Maxwell a platform to rewrite history. The content of the transcript is a direct contradiction with felon Ghislaine Maxwell's conviction for child trafficking. Trafficking. The family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre said in a statement, the family added, also keep in mind, this is the same Virginia Giuffre that decided to expire her own life prematurely not that long ago in Australia. No weirdness about that at all.
Hold on, that one girl that's in Australia that died out of nowhere, that died mysteriously, and she had put a post on her page that was like, if I come up dead, I ain't kill myself. It ain't no accident, XYZ.
Yeah.
And it pretty much gave her like meningitis and like killed her with pneumonia.
Yeah, they said that, she just after getting into this car accident where she was all frantic and crazy and stuff, she decided to just take her own life.
Yep.
So yeah, just wanted to add that little context to that. The family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre said in a statement, the family added, this travesty of justice entirely invalidates the experiences of the many brave survivors who put their safety, security, and lives on the line to ensure conviction, including our sister. And if you guys go into like some of the testimonies of some of the victims, like some of these people are like older now and they've like spoke on the record, and like they're like, no, she literally grabbed me, yanked me in the room. Some of them were like, yeah, she was holding me down while they were doing stuff to me. Like she was like, they said it was worse because it's like she was breaking the sisterhood. Like she was giving these young underage girls at the time to these grown men for them to do horrendous things to them against their will. And so let's keep in mind, this is the context of the woman. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche last month questioned Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence on X trafficking charges for two. I'm sorry, I got distracted when I saw Will Ferrell on the side of me. I've been on a Will Ferrell kick lately. Sorry, off topic.
I love Will Ferrell. He's my favorite.
For 2 days, as part of a stated effort by the Trump administration to uncover more information about Epstein crimes. So, yeah, it's looking like she for some reason got moved to a minimum security prison all of a sudden. And I know how they say like club fed, like it's not like it's literally a club and you guys are partying and chilling and getting, mud baths and all that. But it's definitely lesser security. It's less restrictions. Possibly even, a little bit better food. I mean, it's less dangerous. I believe that there's more privileges like getting outside and things like that. And it also opens you up to possibly trustee type perks. And for those who don't know,
oh my God, go ahead. Sorry.
Those who don't know what trustees are, those are people who have been looked at to have really good behavior, and so they allow for them to stay out longer sometimes than the other inmates, or pre-trial, which I work, we call them residents. Nice sanitized language. But also they stay out longer. They get like cleaning assignments and stuff, so they're allowed to just have something to do, to be able to communicate and chit chat and just be out of their cell a lot longer, and kind of get a little bit more perks. Some of them get extra food, things like that. So just wanted to put that out there.
And then they do something stupid, like steal something, and then they fuck it up. I don't like trustees. I don't understand it. I understand rehabilitation in prison and like for inmates and stuff, but trustees in the prison, what? That's like an oxymoron. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're in here for bad things. Fuck, I look like trusting you with some shit right now. Go to class. And then you giving this bitch, out of all the niggas, free my niggas that's doing life for drug charges, bro. Like, every drug dealer need to be freed right now, because this is retarded, bro. This baby smacks traffic children.
No.
For apple juice people. Look at them names.
And she is
around.
And
what's up, boo?
Shout out to our brother over there. That's Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was Tom. I caught some of the show. I caught some of the show last night. I was tempted to hop in, but we were watching TV, and I was prepping for the show, and I was like, I swear I gotta get over there before
before football season. So
because we're gonna go back to Saturday nights also. So I'll make sure to try to coordinate our time so that, I don't know, either we're right before, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I definitely want to get back over there. And shout out to everybody over there, because I was seeing some familiar faces, and I was like,
yeah, their panel is hard, bro. Their panel is so hard.
It was a good conversation, so I was like, got to get back over there.
Sorry, like I was saying. So anyway, so this lady got SMEX trafficking charges. You know what I'm saying? And then one of their SMEX traffic people, I watched the whole breakdown, bro. I watched her body break down until she quote unquote exited this plane. And then it was like all of a sudden, soon as that girl like was out of here, now you telling me y'all about to move this bitch? Why? And I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. I was at a trail ride screaming last night, y'all. Hooch out, had a time. But my thing is why y'all let this woman go free? In a sense, why y'all even talk about this woman, Epstein files and all this, that, and the third, when one of the people died? Where are the rest of the victims? You know what I'm saying? Can't they speak up? Did they sign NDAs? What happened? Are they dead? Is she the only one? I got so many questions when it comes to this, and everybody's still worrying about this bum-ass, punk-ass, dry-ass list. Don't worry about who did it, because you're not gonna boycott them niggas. We seen how weak y'all niggas is over Target. Shit. They should have been shut down by now. All the boycott shit y'all was talking about, Amazon shouldn't be sending out a single motherfucking package. They out here rebuilding robots. So I ain't trying to hear that. So y'all gonna still support the same niggas. I hear all this shit. I heard something about the Benjamin's baby last night. I thought we was canceling Diddy. Exactly. Point made. Point fucking made. If I keep hearing Biggie Smalls fucking juicy, then what the hell? Y'all still fuck with Diddy. So I don't want to hear about what the fuck the list got to say. Where are the victims?
And I gotta say, in my own personal defense on that, because shots was fired. I mean, I ain't been listening to him, but I'm one of those people where I always separate my entertainment from all the other stuff. And so,
I play R. Kelly in my house. I'm not
saying I'm
a perfect person, y'all. Only perfect person was Jesus.
Even though I knew back in the day what was going on with him and Aaliyah wasn't right, I was still rocking 12 play. So
that album is crazy, yo. R. Kelly's 12 play album is a classic. The man has hits. He did I Believe I Can Fly. Like,
yes.
That's the best inspirational song you could ever listen to. They play that bitch in church.
Well, that one, and I loved I Wish also.
That's funny. You like I Wish.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, something about that song. It brings back, takes me back to a place,
That's fucking funny. I'm mad that you even said that. But yes, R. Kelly still gets plays in my house. Diddy, not so much. I'm not a huge Bad Boy fan. My mom was a little Kim fan. But nevertheless, y'all worrying about the wrong shit. Find me a victim.
Well,
I need to talk to her.
I like that.
Uh-oh, Marcus, we gotta change topics. They fucking with your internet. See what happens? As soon as we get to talking about them, I say apple juices, y'all. We good. Now look, now our shit all fucked.
I didn't like, even back.
Is he messing up for y'all too, or just me? Yep.
Even back then, before I knew something was up, I was like, why we gotta keep having this corny ass dude fucking dancing around all day?
Get in the chat, y'all.
Like, can this dude go?
Oh shit. See what happens? See? All hell broke loose. Now my man's let's see. Okay, Chris, see? That's the government. That ain't nobody but the feds. That's the fuzz. See how the fuzz do us? Get to talking to little Epstein. They got him. Exactly, Tom. They fucking got they got his ass. Golly, I love y'all. I love the fact y'all got the same sense of humor as I. But that's the truth. See how the feds do you? That's why you can't be on camera. I am good, y'all. So I had a trail ride last night. We'll do some check-ins. So I had a trail ride last night. I was out booting and scooting for about 5.5 hours. I danced for about 5 hours. So if you have my Instagram, or you can find me on Instagram, my Instagram name is also on the bottom of my shit. So y'all can go follow me on Instagram if y'all want to see it. Got a couple of clips from the night last night. Besides that, just trying to stay underneath the political radar. Just trying to make sure that the government don't come fuck with me like they just came fucking with Marcus. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay low key. All this shit with like me being that I live so close to DC, low key. This National Guard shit, I'm just waiting for it to trickle down and start coming into my area. Being that I live around a lot of military bases and shit. So I'm just seeing what this trickle effect looks like as far as that's concerned. Just trying, like I said, staying out the way, staying out the mix. Y'all see me on Monday nights on Blunt Force Wisdom. Y'all see me Sundays and Saturdays on this show. Well, soon to be Saturdays, but it's just it's a wild time to be alive, y'all. Y'all should know that. Y'all should definitely know that. It is a wild time to be the fuck alive. Because shit, every day you wake up, you're trying to figure out if the world gonna get blown up by somebody. Shit, we always in somebody's business. I just wake up to see whose business we in. We need a T app for the government. And if you don't know what the T app is, for real, I didn't know Chicago was getting hit too. If y'all are, so the people that are here in the chat, I had a feeling DC was first because that, goddamn Cheddarhead Chomo over here lives up there now in a sense. Give me some other states or cities that you think is finna get hit with this little National Guard shit. I see Chicago. Tom says Chicago's next. For real, for real. But out of Maine. Yes, he did, Chris. Yes, he did. Which then brings me back to, remember when Bad Cookie was in my ass real bad? This is that This is that moment I was trying to tell you. You feel me? Now, next time I see Bad Cookie, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you got all that mouth for the motherfucking Caribbean cop? You got all that mouth for that West Indian cop? Where you stand on that? You gonna be mad that he a cop? He was a whole citizen and a half, nigga, working for the fucking feds. That's crazy. You working for the fuzz, and then the fuzz come and deport your ass. And the cop said he don't want to come back any damn way. And I appreciate that. And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm West Indian. He probably got a family back at home he ain't seen in a couple of years. he needed to get back to him. You feel me? But there's a lot of wild things with this whole ICE situation altogether. Like, I thought they would have been like back on their shit by now. It just seems like it's dying down, but now they're trying to figure out a new department or a new set of people to fuck with. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, if they do New York, New York would be Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, stuff like that. I'm thinking New York, Miami. I don't know. Texas might try to keep everybody, but New York, Miami, Chicago, and an honorable mention would be like Detroit or like Milwaukee. Those two right there. Sorry, I got ADHD. Sorry, I didn't mean to go silent for a second. I was trying to look at other, some other goddamn states. And I think that's it. Milwaukee, Detroit would be my honorable mentions. Everything else would be New York, Miami, and possibly something in Texas. Any suggestions, y'all?
All right, can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can. I've had to go to my phone. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna since I'm on my phone, I'm not gonna have my camera on, but let me see where I left off. See, okay, it says we can hear you. He is back, but we lost Teal. Great, it figures. So yeah, I'm just gonna ignore my phone for a moment. Let's see. We'd already talked about the Ghislaine Maxwell, so I figured we're going ahead and just move along to the next story. And so I'll just have to read it off from my computer, what I have in front of me, and then some of the stuff I might just have to play for the audio version. So I don't know if you guys heard the story about baby Emmanuel, but if you guys aren't familiar with baby Emmanuel, let me play this for you.
Missing 7-month-old baby Emmanuel in San Bernardino County. The boy is presumed dead, and his parents have been arrested on suspicion of murder.
The arrest come just over 1 week after the boy's mother said he was abducted outside a store in Ukaipa. KTLA's Chris Wolf is live in Cabazon with the latest details. Chris?
Yeah, Sharon, Micah, a candlelight vigil for baby Emmanuel is happening right now, just a few yards from us here in Cabazon. Let's take a look at some video we just shot. People are gathering outside the home he shared with his parents, who are in custody on suspicion of murdering the 7-month-old. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says, based on the evidence, investigators determined a kidnapping in Ukaipa did not occur. It is believed Emmanuel is deceased, and the search to recover his remains is ongoing. This case spans 2 counties, and the murder suspects were booked into a Riverside County jail without bail. Caught on camera. Friday morning, detectives from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department arrested Jake and Rebecca Harrow at their home in Cabazon on suspicion of murder. Investigators say they will continue their search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow. Deputies and police dogs have continually searched the family home. The Sheriff's Department says it served multiple search warrants at the property and is now reviewing surveillance footage from areas of interest in the case.
Yolanda, I didn't see anything, and I woke up on the floor.
In an interview with KTLA 1 week earlier, Rebecca Harrow, who had a black eye, sitting next to her husband Jake, pleaded for the return of their son.
Please come and bring my son back. Please, I'm begging you.
The Harrows say a stranger jumped Rebecca last Thursday in the parking lot of a sporting goods store in Ukaipa as she was changing the baby's diaper in her car. She says the attacker knocked her unconscious, and when she awoke, Emmanuel was gone. San Bernardino County detectives, however, say her story was filled with inconsistencies, and when they pressed her, she stopped talking. Authorities confirmed this week that social workers have removed a 2-year-old child from the Harrow household. Back to the scene outside the home Friday morning. Innocent until proven guilty. We'll figure it out when this case starts moving forward. An attorney for Jake Harrow was seen walking outside of the house during all of the law enforcement commotion and activity. He did not answer reporter questions, but did make those comments. Back here live outside the family home, a candlelight vigil for baby Emmanuel is happening right now. Father Jake Harrow has a criminal history. He pleaded guilty to child cruelty involving a little girl 2 years ago. He was sentenced to jail and also given probation, but investigators say he later violated that probation by possessing a firearm and ammunition. He was scheduled for a court appearance in that case in September. We will, of course, continue to follow this breaking and developing story. We're now reporting live in Cabazon. I'm Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you, Chris.
Now, I hate to have to report that. So hold on, sorry, pause.
Okay.
But I said from the beginning that story did not sound right to me. And I played that whole thing for those who are not in California, or maybe you guys didn't hear about this story. I mean, I assume that this is probably national news because the story was just kind of strange from the beginning. The lady said she was changing the baby's diaper, and while changing the baby's diaper, somebody tapped her on the shoulder and said "Hola," and then punched her in the face. And then when she woke up, her baby was gone. Some of the details that have come out since then have just been some weird stuff. So I went on a little bit about that. Till, are you familiar with this story?
Yeah, I heard about the 7-month-old baby. I knew it was the parents immediately. We had an incident out here called Cody. His name was Cody, sadly. And now that's why they have the Cody alert for missing children. It got created out of Virginia because same shit. You know what I'm saying? And the daddy did it. The daddy had the baby. Oh, it's so sad. But nevertheless, yeah, it's always, I shouldn't say always, but it's usually the parents. I mean, JonBenet Ramsey, Cody, Emmanuel, so many other children. Like, I knew it was the parents off the cuff. Parents don't ever make up good stories. The made up stories that they always give is always trash. They never give good stories.
I'm sorry, hold on 1 second.
Y'all, the fuzz is on our ass, y'all.
I don't know why my volume was so low hearing you. I guess they can hear. Maybe it's just something going on with my phone.
No, it might
Apologies.
be me. My little sound bar looks a little low compared to yours. Can y'all hear me okay? It's
Yep, they can actually hear you. Yeah.
it's always custom. It's always it's always Colonel Mustard in the library with the goddamn candlestick holder. Always remember that, guys. Always. So I knew as soon as this story started, I knew Emmanuel's parents had something to do with it. Terrible. Terrible. You okay, Marcus? Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. By the way, Chris, I wanted to say this before we got too far in the show and started talking about the topics. You're absolutely right. It always happens to be that Caribbeans or West Indians never get any coverage when they go missing. When the Haitian kids was going missing, nobody said anything. Here they are doing it again. Nobody's saying anything. Like the West Indian diaspora always does not get represented properly. We're always misrepresented. So I'm not surprised that there's no coverage about ICE coming in and getting all the West Indians as well. A couple of my friends have already been questioned, which sucks. But
yeah, but on this
back to Emmanuel.
yeah, on that one, some of the stuff that I found out hearing about it kind of really raised red flags for me. They said that the parents actually called the police and asked them if it was all right if they start taking the baby's clothes out of the house, and if it's all right to start mourning the child. I'm like, so why are you calling the police about that? Red flag number one. Number two, they also noticed that inside the house they couldn't find any photos of the kid. They had already taken out all the pictures of the kid. Next red flag. A lot of family members say that they couldn't find any pictures of the kid. I mean, not pictures of the kid. They hadn't seen the kid in weeks. And so the theory that I kind of believe, it can be one of many, is either the husband or the wife, one of them did something to that kid, whether intentional, whether accidental, whether in a fit of rage, they did something and they harmed that child. They harmed that poor baby. And instead of calling the police on whatever happened, they decided that they were going to come together and figure a way out of this. And so they cooked up that plan. And I honestly believe that black eye that she has is probably from the husband.
Yeah, he probably beat her and he beat that baby.
Exactly. Baby was crying. He punched the baby. I mean, dude already pleaded guilty to harming another child before that, and literally was due in court next month for that other trial. Another detail, which the reason why they believe that kid is no longer with us is because they found pools of blood in the house. They didn't say how much, but they found blood in the house.
I mean, you shouldn't just be finding blood in your house anyway.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, yeah, they did something horrific to that child and they tried to cover it up. And I also believe that partially it could have been from the fact of, I think that kid is probably autistic or something. That's the vibe that I get. And because this kid was autistic or whatever, or some kind of mental slowness, they decided that, maybe they were arguing about that. Maybe he was pissed off that blaming her for giving him a kid, which, had medical issues.
Hey, it happens. Talk that shit. Mm-hmm. It happens.
So that's where I come down on that, because I'm like, a lot of this don't sound right at all. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I mean, but I don't know. I could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. Well, let's move on to something that's not as dark.
Da da da.
South
Society. Look, society still dark.
South Park is back to roasting Trump again.
Hey, you seen how they were like South Park is distasteful and it's terrible and it's blah 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 blah. Anybody should hear that?
Of course, you're gonna say that. What? How bad they've been going after Trump?
Yeah, it's so distasteful. Y'all was watching it fine when they was talking shit about Diddy and Lil Wayne and everybody else, but now it's got.
Oh, and they're talking. I guarantee you, if it was about Biden and Hunter Biden, they would be tweeting out every episode.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of what's been kind of going on with Gavin Newsom. I don't know if you've noticed, but Gavin Newsom has kind of turned into he's turned into a little bit of a troll of MAGA lately. So now they're upset at him. Like, I can't believe that Gavin Newsom is acting this way. So now he's flipping it back on them, talking about, what, are y'all the ones who are woke now? Which, don't get me wrong, that don't mean I like Gavin Newsom, but I mean, at some point, you should be at least smart enough to fight fire with fire. Plenty of people who are sitting there on Fox News, in one breath, they will tell you, they will go after you, be so distasteful, and then turn around and play, I can't believe they would do such a thing. This is outrageous. So I just thought oh yeah, it's just hilarious that the games that they play, and they act as if, I don't know, they act as if like nobody can see through the bullshit. So just want to throw something a little bit lighthearted after all that mess. But oh yeah, another issue. Let me look at the chat because that's right. Huh?
Tom's got to slide out. He's got to get ready for mob rules. Peace out, Tom.
Peace out, Tom. Yeah, I was like, yeah, keep if you see anything in the chat, let me know, because since I guess when it goes on my phone, it's weird. The volume is not on speakerphone.
Nah,
so I gotta put it up to my ear.
Did you go to your audio?
Look, let me see. Let me see if that'll let me.
Hit the three dots, hit audio, and see if you can change it.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me better?
There we go. Now we good.
Yep. Okay. See, I'm a phone person. Sometimes I got to do it on the go. You know me.
There we go. So good. That's so much better, because now I can stare at my screen and be able to feel normal, because it felt like I was having a phone call and that just felt weird. So my next story that I want to go to, this one is Trump administration deploys 1,700 National Guard troops to support ICE across 19 states. Wonder why it's not 50, but sure, fine, whatever. Let's scroll down. It says, oh, this is very light of a story. It just looks like reported that in comments. Okay, so Washington, up to 1,700 National Guardsmen are reportedly set to mobilize in 19 states, including Indiana, in the coming weeks. According to Fox News reports, the deployments are reportedly expected to support the Trump administration, immigration, and anti-crime crackdowns. The news comes just days after Trump activated nearly 2,000 National Guard soldiers, placing Washington, D.C. under federal control. That don't make any sense to me. You send 2,000 troops to Washington, D.C., and you're going to send 1,700 troops to 19 states? I don't know.
It's because they're on tour right now.
So what are you sending, like, I don't know, what's the math to that? Was it like 125 troops to each state or something?
I mean,
each one.
Well, they're getting two federal workers per police station.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But whatever. Trump administration lately hasn't been making a lot of sense in my eyes. But just want to show you more of the I don't know. To me, it almost sounds like it's weird how they phrase that. Set to mobilize in 19 states, including Indiana. Well, why did they separate Indiana off like that? I don't know. That just sounds weird. But
There we go.
that's
Okay. Sorry.
oh no, go ahead. What?
No, sorry about that. My iPad just freaked out for a second. It's the feds, bro. The fuzz is on our ass today.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I guess a big. I don't know how they're going to be allocated according to this story, which maybe I need to find a different story. Let's see. Let's check this one and see what it says. The Trump administration reportedly planned support immigration anti-crime crackdowns, dramatic expansion of the controversial operation that seen federal agents and guard troops carrying out activities across Washington D.C. The troops will largely be activated across Republican-controlled states. Really? Okay. Will serve in support of administration, immigration, and custom enforcement operations, as well as other law enforcement priorities, according to comment from the unnamed Pentagon officials and documents obtained by Fox News. The Guardsmen assistant ICE will be carrying out tasks that may include personal data collection, fingerprinting, DNA swabbing, and photographing of personnel in ICE custody, an official told outlets. So deployments will take place across the following states: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Wyoming, per Fox. Texas reportedly slated to have the largest deployment. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So it is interesting. Most of these are going to be not only red states, but even the city parts are red also. Because before I was hearing a lot of people saying that, oh, it's going to be basically, it's going to be done, all the liberal states. Well, yeah, this is, I see Jacqueline's comment here. It says, our troops are trained to attack the enemy, not attack the citizens. This is BS political theater. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to really, all you're going to do is have a bunch of troops just standing around buildings. I don't really know what that'll be. Maybe as ICE agents are out there like detaining and rounding people up, they'll probably be doing more of the administrative stuff. Like they'll be like literally sitting there watching the place on guard duty, things like that. That's what I would assume that they would be doing. Maybe doing some of the actual like the paperwork, the photographing, kind of like working as doing the intake while probably freeing up ICE agents to actually be out on the street. That's what I think it probably will be. Says the Independent contacted the reported states for comments, as well as the Central National Guard leadership and the Department of Homeland Security. The Guardsmen will be serving under the Title 32, Section 50 or 502 authority, in which they technically remain under state command and control, but can assist with federal missions and are paid with federal funds. The status allows them to avoid running afoul of federal law limiting military involvement in domestic law enforcement. Okay, so that makes sense to why they're going to red states. They go to blue states, the blue states are more than likely just tell them to stand down.
Yep. Peace, my guys. Peace.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting when this is supposed to actually like go down and if we actually see an impact. I think it's going to be a lot like what happened out here in California, where they stood around like the VA hospital, downtown LA, a couple of government buildings, federal buildings, and that's about it. like when the major protests were going on, all these crackdowns and stuff, all that stuff that was going on, and all the like the back and forth that you were seeing from protesters to law enforcement, all of that was happening between LAPD and LA Sheriff's Department. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring up that story. On to anything you wanted to say on that one before I move on to my next story?
Nope, I'm good on that one.
Okay.
Go sit down. My dog just came to visit me. That was sweet.
All right. So this next story, again with more Trump administration bravado. It says Maduro calls on China as U.S. mounts pressure on Venezuela. Will it answer? So if you guys don't know, all right, I'll just go ahead and read it. Amid the sharp escalation in tensions between the United States and Venezuela, President Nicolas, sorry, I'm getting so tongue tied right now. President Nicolas Maduro mentioned China, the United States' biggest economic rival, during a speech about education in the country, while speaking about tutorials to learn how to do things during the closing of the first. I don't even know how to say that word. Whatever. Congress of Bolivarian teachers. Maduro paused to present his new cell phone, which he said was a gift from China's new leader, Xi Jinping. Maduro said he communicated with Xi through the new phone by satellite. You will learn. I don't know why it's going into all this, but I don't care about his word for word. Anyway, he's asking for China to help push back against the U.S. and what they're trying to do there, which, from what I heard, they are mounting some ships in the area and about 4,000 troops, which they want to get ready to send into Venezuela. And it's under the guise of saying that they are trying to, I guess now they are calling Maduro a narco trafficker and saying that basically he is an illegitimate president and that there's a warrant out for him. So somebody in the Trump administration is trying to find a reason to basically take out Nicolas Maduro from presidency. And it seems like this is another like failed coup attempt to try to put like Juan Guaido back in power. I don't know how it's going to work. I heard Maduro just amassed something like 4 million plus troops just in case the United States tries to invade. So I don't know. Have you heard anything about this?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, this is something that it sounds a whole lot like Marco Rubio's doing
Mm-hmm.
because he seems to be like hyper focused on any kind of left wing governments throughout Latin America. Since he's been a congressman, that's what he's always been about. He hasn't found a war that he has not been in favor of, and to me, it sounds like that's what's going on in this case. That he is trying to find a way in to coup Maduro and other leaders. And when I say other leaders, there's also been talks about them trying to send in U.S. troops into Mexico also to go after so-called air quote trafficking rings. I don't know how that's going to work diplomatically, but that's the gist of what I've been hearing from that situation. And so if he's talking about Venezuela and he's talking about Mexico, how long before he just decides that he wants to start sending troops into all of the Latin American countries? I don't know. Your thoughts?
I mean, bro, we getting them sent into our cities right now. You think they off limits?
Yeah.
It's just like it's like I said, bro. It's a matter of time. But I'm just trying to figure out what's the prize if we win this game, Marcus. I asked that before your whole shit started going R2D2. But what's the
No.
prize, bro?
I don't know. I really think that we're just dealing with a rabid dog in the office who just does whatever comes to mind. I mean, just do shit. And I don't think he understands any of this stuff. And remember what I brought up earlier when I first started the show, talking about people in bubbles. And when you get in bubbles and you don't allow for any kind of conversation with people who are outside your bubble, you don't realize how ridiculous, how stupid some of the shit you're saying is. Especially when you surround yourself with sycophants who are only going to tell you, yes, yes, everything you do is great. The way you banged your head on that wall was brilliant, sir. And so he says, oh, I'm going to send 4,000 troops in there. And do you think Trump knows anything about Venezuela?
No, he don't even know about us.
Exactly. So in his mind, yeah, I could send 4,000 troops in there to knock over the government.
And watch them get mopped the fuck up, because we don't be... Do you know that there are 4-year-olds in China that know how to make an omelet?
Uh-huh.
So you think they don't have 4-year-olds over in Venezuela packing that heat and know how to make a pack? Okay, cook it up on the stove. Get out of here.
Well, I think this country is just a much bigger, more powerful country than he realizes. And it also goes back to the old State Department. I remember Polly, shadow band refugee, for y'all who remember, he worked in kind of the oil industry. And one thing that he used to talk about all the time is sweet crude and sour crude. And a lot of our big, like, oil refiners in the United States, they're running low on a lot of the sweet crude. And the way the whole drilling process and stuff works, you have different types of drill for the sweet and a different type for the crude. And you just can't move on to a new location and drill with the same refining materials. You got to rebuy and repurpose all of this brand new different stuff. And sometimes it's just easier to find another spot that already has what you have and start drilling there. And this is why the United States has been so invested in paying attention to what the hell is going on in Venezuela all the time. Because the Koch brothers have been paying donors. I mean, they've been donating to campaigns for years because they wanted to get a foot in on that Venezuelan oil. And it looks like they finally got the president in charge, who's going to help even more than ever. I mean, granted, all the presidents going back from, whether it is Trump, whether it's Biden, whether it's been Obama, whether it's been whether it was George W. Bush, all of them have been going after this country like relentlessly to try to coup the leaders. The oil. They got so much oil. Oh, was that?
Is that what Venezuela got?
Yep.
Okay.
They want Venezuela's oil. I mean, it's a common thing that they keep going after, and this goes all the way back to Hugo Chavez. They've been doing this forever, and when Hugo Chavez came into power, he literally started eradicating like poverty levels. He started like building infrastructure and building up his country. And as he started doing that off of his socialist programs, they hated it. And so what did they start doing? They started finding ways to put sanctions on him over and over and over, saying he's a brutal dictator. He's doing this, he's doing that. And then basically they worked out a situation to, I believe this was through espionage. Some people say, oh, well, no, they just blew up. Somehow the refineries in Venezuela blew up all of a sudden, and it threw their oil markets into shambles. And they've struggled. They struggled even more after that. Combined with the relentless sanction after sanction after sanction the U.S. puts on that country. And then what you have happening is you have people fleeing from Venezuela because they're basically a state which is dependent on oil. That's their number one thing. That's the only thing that really props up the whole entire country. And when you start to have that threatened, it starts to mess with the internal economy of the place. And as you mess with the economy, you mess with the crime rates and all of those things. It's a cyclical thing that goes on when you start affecting one of them. You kick one leg out from under the chair and the rest start to follow. And so this is what's been kind of going on over there. They've been kind of fighting back and trying to push back the best they can to stay afloat. But this is a reoccurring problem that they're having to try to fight through. And every time you look up, they keep trying to do it one way or another. They can't take the government enough through espionage. Then they try through assassination attempts. Then assassination attempts don't work. Then they try through sanctions. Sanctions don't work. Then they try through rigging their elections and trying to get a fake puppet president in there who's going to be friendly to the United States. And so this is just their latest ploy. Now they're like, oh, why don't we just try taking in ground troops? So in my eyes, I look at this is what this is mainly about. I've heard some stuff about, their potential to try to do this in Mexico. I don't think that they're going to get the green light on it, because from what I've heard from certain sources that Claudia Sheinbaum, in one breath, she acts like she's defiant to Trump in front of the media. But I hear the closed door meetings between Sheinbaum and Trump, and those phone calls are very different, take a very different tenor. So I think that it's a lot of posturing when it comes to Mexico. Although Trump keeps saying, hey, well, we can send troops down there if you want. She's like, no.
Send Dean Cain, bitch ass. That's who you need to send. Send Dean Cain. Send his bitch ass. I've been waiting for you to say, send Dean Cain, since you want to fucking volunteer so motherfucking hard. Send Dean Cain. Bitch, you ain't better than cool. What the fuck was the last thing he did? National Treasure. I don't even know. Dean Cain, you such a nobody head ass bitch. Bye. Send his
last thing I remember him in was, what is that movie? What was that movie with Denzel and Eva Mendes? Or not even, yeah. Denzel, Eva Mendes, and Sanaa Lathan.
And it was a flop because I can't even remember. And you had Denzel in it. Whack.
Yeah, it was Out of Time. It's kind of one of those movies that you're not going to pay to go to the movies to see. It's kind of like it's on a Saturday afternoon. Fuck it, I'll check it out.
Okay, so I love John Leguizamo. I don't like that he's like been super, super, super liberal lately, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely keeps his. I've always had a crush on him my whole life. Like I was in love with him when he was The Pest. Okay, and not a lot of people watch The Pest, and The Pest is one of my favorite movies. So like that's my baby. But when he started being so vocal about things, I'm like, damn, that's cool. I love it. But damn, super liberal. The fact that he came out his face and said, what kind of loser volunteers for ICE? What a moron. Dean Cain's pronouns are has been. Bitch. The cackle. The cackle I had, bro. Like, bitch, you an honorary member.
I'm like, that shows what's happened. He's like, and for people who don't know, I've been a law enforcement agency. I don't know if he said not honorary, but what is it, like a reserve sheriff deputy for like 20 years. I'm like, yeah, that shows your acting career was very successful.
That's why you the wackest goddamn. That's why you didn't even get to say your shit wasn't even named Superman, bitch. That's why your shit was Lois and Clark.
Okay? Yeah, it was literally the weakest.
You exactly. You wore the insignia. You wore the logo, bitch. Anybody can put on a KFC shirt. Don't mean that you the colonel, bitch. How about that?
Literally was the yeah. Shaq also.
I've been waiting to flame Dean Cain this whole time, bitch. That does not mean you anybody. You were Lois and Clark. You had to share your fucking show with a bitch. The show was Superman.
And the sad part about it is, it was Terry Hatcher who carried the show.
Yes, because he was weak. Weak sauce. Dean Cain's been weak sauce.
Honestly, outside of those two things, I can't name anything else Dean Cain's been in.
No, because he
I,
sucks.
I heard he's been in like 15 movies with dogs. Like Rescue the Dogs or something like that, or Sled Dogs, and I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, when your movies are not doing good, when pets are the star, come on. When I see Cuz in the building, what's up, Ladarius?
I'm sorry. The pronouns being has been, weak is a bitch. I'm never apparently Cracker Barrel heard my joke from last year.
Uh-huh.
Because they done took the logo down. Sorry. Y'all know about my hard R joke. Y'all know I bring up shit about Cracker Barrel being racist and that, you know what I'm saying? Trump holds his meetings at Cracker Barrel. But
I don't
yeah,
even know why they changed the logo. I mean,
I don't know why they took the cracker or the barrel away. I mean, I kind of needed it. It was given. It gave the food extra flavor.
yeah, I mean, now it's just gonna be confusing.
I
mean,
don't know
if
why
you
y'all had to touch the sign, because now I know the food ain't gonna taste good, and I go there for racist food. I don't
when
go to
you
Cracker Barrel for anything other than tasting racism. Like, I kept them in business. If anybody were to ask me, T, who keeps Cracker Barrel in business? I do. I don't know who does Arby's finances. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
well, Myra's mom said she's never eaten at Cracker Barrel, not once.
Jesus, go get it before they take the racism out. You'll love it. You're gonna hate it once they do.
I know my favorite thing that I would always get the country fried steak and biscuits and gravy.
Country fried steak, country fried chicken, biscuits and gravy, chicken and dumplings. The fucking them
Oh,
goddamn
the chicken and dumplings too. Oh yeah.
them chicken and dumplings got me in a chokehold, Marcus. That's my fucking favorite. When they had good collard greens, their collard greens was on point. They fell off. I'm trying to tell you, they taking the racism. They taking the hard R out of Cracker Barrel. So sad. I need the hard R. Some things just need to have hard R's. Cracker Barrel, definitely. Crack, even better. But like, don't do that. Take Robert E. Lee off the school, cool. Taking the cracker and the barrel off the logo, no go.
I
And
mean,
yes,
and
I eat at Cracker Barrel. I do. And now that we're talking about it, I'm probably going to go there tomorrow. Never
it's
been
funny.
good. Never been good, Ladarius. You've been eating
Come
goddamn
on.
gummy. You've been eating gummy bears and Capri Suns for I don't know how long. I know how many kids you got. Relax. Your brain got developed. That's that GMO goddamn red dye 40 polluting your brain. Taste buds all jacked up. All you taste is yellow 45. Okay. I know. He said never. Hey, I'm not gonna take such slander, okay, on such a nice Sunday. Okay, keep your nefarious comments to yourself over there. God damn it. Clear Capri Sun drinking head ass. Get out of here. Cracker Barrel's never been good. What?
What?
It's even better when they sit you in the back like real slaves. No, I'm playing. I took it too far. Let me
Oh wow, yeah, you took it real far. Goodness gracious.
Look, you can't even sit next to the fireplace.
Mm-mm-mm.
Has a fireplace. I love it. And the snacks, the shit in the front. The shit in the front is crazy.
Hey, Vicky, welcome back.
Hi, Vicky.
And say hello to our new co-host, Miss Teal.
Nice to meet you, Vicky. Hope to see you more often.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was a good joke.
Sorry,
That was a good one.
sorry, I'm not on camera, but having some technical difficulties, so I am doing the show from my phone. I don't know. I could put up camera, but I mean, but yeah, it'll just be y'all staring at me, shakily holding my phone, with a green screen behind me.
And it's just green, literally.
Just green. So I don't think y'all need to see my ugly mug that bad. But let's see. Oh man, I really wish I could show this one. Let me try one more time, see if StreamYard want to let me on.
Okay.
Because if it does let me on, I would prefer to show one of these videos about Trump's health.
Man, if y'all don't, now I know what home cooking tastes like. We all know what home cooking tastes like, Ladarius. We talking about Cracker Barrel though. You got to go there to get some of that. That's when I don't feel like cooking some home cooked shit, and it's kind of close.
Oh, well. All right, it let me back on. Can you hear me? Sound check. Oh, she's on mute. But I don't know. Hey, y'all let me know in the chat. Can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Sorry, I had to mute myself. Somebody called my phone.
I don't know. Now it wants to act right. So that's fine. That's fine.
Don't touch shit. We can't say anything else about the past comments.
So, I did say I wanted to show that. I'll say that South Park one.
Yeah,
So
Ladarius and I look. Keep you got a lot of fingerprints today. Okay. Got a lot of finger strips today, Ladarius. Get up on this show. How about that?
I wonder, do we got Cracker Barrel out here somewhere? I wonder. I think there's a Cracker Barrel around here. But I don't know. I haven't had Cracker Barrel since I was back in Kansas City.
Not to mention, ain't the West Coast getting a Waffle House too? Y'all motherfuckers getting all types of fancy Southern shit.
I don't know if that's a good thing though.
Neither do I.
I don't know if bringing Waffle House over here is good. Let's see, Cracker Barrel near me. I'm wondering, do we have one? Yeah, yep, Cracker Barrel.
Hurry up, Vicky, go get you some. Don't listen to Ladarius.
Sorta. No, actually, no. The closest Cracker Barrel is in Rialto, which is 47 miles away. That's like 2 hours.
With y'all traffic, that's insane.
Or driving. I mean, Camarillo or Victorville. Hell no. Oh no, I don't love Cracker Barrel that much. Let's see. So this one right here, it caught my attention, and I just wanted to bring it up. I'm not saying that I necessarily buy into exactly what this man is saying here. And I don't think he's necessarily saying anything. I think he's just showing.
There are some alarming pictures that just came out that raise more questions about Donald Trump's health. Now,
that's slow up.
I have a lot of photos here to go.
Homeboy. So, anyway, I wanted to show this.
Nope, it's not working, Marcus. You might be acting crazy again. Are you acting crazy?
But first, we all
click my camera off and try it again. All right.
No bueno? Oh, hell. See what I'm saying? This is too much. I don't know why they don't like us so bad. This is crazy. Damn, they really out here not fucking with goddamn with my guy.
I guess it is spoken.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it is spoken. It told me, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, you gotta, you can't do that. You're not, they're not gonna let you talk about the things you really want to talk about. Not up here. Are you jacked up too, Marcus? Huh?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself.
Oh,
Uh,
Jesus.
so this is what I'll do. I will give y'all the video. I'll tell y'all where it is. I'll play a little bit of audio so y'all can hear it. This is Keith Edwards. And this video is titled Dr. Trump has 6 to 8 months to live. I don't know how true that is. I just want to put the information out there. And so I'll stop it so I can describe what's some of the stuff that he's showing on the screen. If you guys don't choose to check out that video later, or just so you guys can know what it is talking about. But I'll play a little bit of it.
We got some breaking news. There are some alarming pictures that just came out that raise more questions about Donald Trump's health. Now, I have a lot of photos here to go through, but first, we also know Donald Trump's health is not great because the White House was forced to talk about this after mainstream media failed to put pressure on them, but independent media put the pressure on and they were forced to talk about it. That's why it's so important to hit like on this video and subscribe, because we can get results the way that mainstream media and corporate media cannot. Here is Caroline Levitt having to talk about the fact that Donald Trump is not doing well.
Of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70.
Okay, so they're saying it's benign, but I have some reporting here from a doctor who has seen Donald Trump. Obviously, he can't examine Donald Trump directly, but seeing what he has seen and knowing what she said, here's what this doctor has to say about Donald Trump's condition, and he thinks that Donald Trump actually has congestive heart failure.
Doctorate in my field. I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. The reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out again.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I wonder if the pause went through or if it's buffer. Anyway,
NBC for giving him hash about his ankles. That's just how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some fucking reason? People said I'm not doing very well. I don't think
I didn't see
he's
this
talking
part.
about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all.
Let's see if that's okay.
It's because he has the privilege of getting.
All right, so I don't know how much of that you've seen. Have you heard anything about them talking about Trump going to heaven or something?
No, I don't think that's where he would go anyway. y'all mad? Y'all are sadly mistaken, regardless of that.
Yeah, I don't know how much is this. I don't know how much of this guy, because this is somebody from TikTok. And this guy is a doctor. I don't know how much of that is a liberal kind of wishful thinking, and how much of that is like him giving his true, honest opinion as a doctor. I do know if you see some of the videos, it's kind of weird. He's having like some bad kind of cankle issues, and he also in one of the clips they show, he got a weird like leg thing going on, where his leg is like kicking around really weird. And that's the thing with Trump, because he's so dishonest and he's not going to be clear on anything, and he's that type of mentality where he can't show any type of weakness. So he's not going to be the type to be like, hey y'all, I did have some sickness and I'm not feeling the greatest. He's not going to tell you that, because he'd be worried about being yanked out of power.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of those guys where he literally is probably just going to die in office, and everybody be like, whoa, what the hell happened? And then you find out after the issue. Myra, he got cankles. It looks bad. And then in some of these videos, there's a lot of like blotching on his hands where he has real bad bruising, and they're using cheap makeup to cover up the bruising on his hand. I don't know. And then there's another thing you can see kind of weird with his eyes going on. And that could be just because he's tweeting and all that shit and he don't get a lot of sleep. I don't know. But that's it. So here, I'll give a little bit more of this doctor talking about his opinion on it. And this guy's saying he thinks Trump has 6 to 8 months to live. So I don't know. Crazy.
Well, he need to get. So my mom had CHF. She lived 10 years after getting like the surgery, and he should have enough money. Bitch, you got goddamn Magic Johnson money. Ain't trying to hear that shit. Go get it fixed.
Well, they saying
fucking cankles. Get out of
they saying that's what's helping him like last longer because of all these doctors he got.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly, I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. The kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker. We know he's not going to change his diet because he's such a fucking idiot. I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Well, that's one person's opinion, but as you said, this is very obvious because Donald Trump has been taking photos of many times.
Yeah, and that's crazy when you see
Vascular studies, bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed.
So anyway, yeah, if you see the videos, it looks bad, like how bad the blotching is on his hands. It doesn't even look close to what it should be. Oh, shit, what the fuck is this? Anyway,
I thought that
shut your mouth up. There we go. Anyway, it looks bad when you see it, and then he was saying also one of the bad signs that Trump is getting worse is he's also having trouble walking a straight line. They're showing him like getting off the planes and helicopters, and he zigzags back and forth. Now I know some of us kind of like may not walk entirely straight, but like this dude is literally doing like he's Zorroing, he's zigzagging the whole red carpet. He said, "How did Trump? How did Rothschilds last so long? Because they get far better treatment than that, and also they don't eat nearly as bad as this dude. Like Trump literally eats garbage. This dude is a billionaire, has the money to be able to have the best meals cooked for him, and he still eats like he's a frat kid." Did he ever walk a straight line? That's funny. I don't know, but that I don't know your take. What do you think, Till? Do you think like they over exaggerating this, that Trump is like really that bad off? Like I think it's kind of a little bit of over exaggeration. 6 to 8 months. I don't know about that. I did say that I don't think this dude got too much longer. I've said that, but I've never put like a time limit on it. And so if I had to put a time limit on it, I don't think Trump makes it too much longer after his terms. That's the reason why I never worried about Trump having a third term. Like that dude ain't gonna survive a third term.
So my mom has CHF, so I'm definitely really privy about it. But when it comes to this Trump dude, like let this man die, please. Just let him die. Because either he need the same doctors as Magic Johnson, or just let this man die. Like it's to a point. Like we don't even like this man right now.
No, I don't even think his sycophants really like him either. I think that they want the prestige, they want the job, they want the money that comes after it. They want the insider trading, and they're willing to say whatever the hell they need to get it.
And that is true about saying whatever they need, whatever needs to be said. But as far as like 6 to 8 months too, that's such a stretch. My mama lived 10 years after she had her fucking heart surgery. A whole 10 piece.
Oh, do I think he got HIV from Ron Cohn? Oh,
he got the HIV. He got a house in
or
Vegas.
Roy? It was that Roy Cohn. I don't. I mean, the dude did live through the 70s, and they was some wild boys back then. And also with the stuff that he's gotten down with, I don't know. I agree. Myra's mom said anything can happen at any time. He's sick and in high pressure situation. It could happen in his sleep. Dear Karma whisper. Yeah, I think that you combine that this man is just an unhealthy man in general. He eats unhealthy on top of it. Like, even though I'm not close to his age, I'm still like health concerned about like what I eat and try to get enough water and try to get some exercise, and it's at least on my mind. I don't think that it's on somebody like Trump's mind because he believes that I got enough money to buy whatever. If I need help, I'll just pay the doctor and they're just going to fix it. Because, a lot of these rich people, since they're able to do whatever the hell they want to, they don't have like reality checks. And the only real reality check is when like something medical like hits them and the doctor's like, yo, I don't care how much money you got, I can't fix this. That's normally when reality sets in, especially when you're dealing with somebody that's on the level of narcissistic that Trump is. And I mean, I think it's rare to have people that are that level of narcissistic that they believe that the reality that they say is the reality. So I don't know. I don't know. I do not know.
Trump ain't dying no time soon, bro. All he gonna do is ask the many face God to come and give him a new face. God damn it, nigga gonna get a new face, new life. Now he's back to being immortal.
Well, he
Like
got to do it.
you love my goat references. I noticed that you like damn, this bitch do know Game of Thrones. Yes.
Yo, I got well off subject a little bit because you brought up Game of Thrones. I got this new audio book that I've been listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a whole lot like Game of Thrones.
Really?
I'll call you after, break it down. I don't think everybody else want to hear me nerd out for a little while into this, but I gotta tell you about it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. But not trying to get off topic, but I just feel like if Trump, in the words of Ivan Drago, if Trump finna die.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank. God damn, it's not that serious. We do not care this much. We do not care. Okay? I just want to know when broccoli going back down to 32 cents a head.
When you get somebody in there with common sense.
You know what I'm saying? Does he need to be removed expeditiously? Well, let God do his will. Shit.
Because that's the thing. Though this duopoly, though they are evil, the one thing they did have enough common sense is to know there's certain things that are certain realities that have to work a certain way.
Yes.
And so they at least wouldn't pretend like water is not wet, that air doesn't blow. Like they didn't try to go out there and tell you, no, the sun is actually purple, and you will listen to me. Like
No.
they didn't really do like to that level. And I mean, that's where I think they understand a certain level of I can BS the people to a degree, but if I go too far, it's going to be a pushback. And I don't think Trump believes in the pushback. I don't think he believes that anything could ever happen to stop him.
No.
And when you've been allowed for 70 plus years to basically get away with whatever, it makes you a very dangerous person.
Well, I think any person with an untouchable mindset is a dangerous person because you can't tell them nothing.
Yep, and that's Trump. You can't tell him nothing. You only tell him stuff that he already agrees with.
Yeah, you gotta just give them, and that's what happened. You get around a whole bunch of yes men, and then they be ready to fucking take your ass the fuck out.
Yep. So,
yeah.
I guess from the Trump thing, we'll move on to our last topic. And yeah, I agree because people don't want pushback, but we will accept pushback for our own betterment. And I don't believe that when you already believe you're perfect, you can't accept any kind of criticism, good or bad.
No.
Even if you don't like the criticism, sometimes you might sit there for a little while and it sink in and be like, you know what? They fucking right. And he don't have that gear in him to ever say anybody else is right. Well, he don't have the gear in him to ever be wrong. So if you can never be wrong, well, I mean, enough said. So I guess we'll go on to our 20 conservatives versus Amanda Seals.
Did you already talk about what Texas got going on with and Cali got going on with that redistricting?
With the redistricting? No, I didn't talk about it. But if you want to, you can.
Yeah, we'll follow. We'll end up with that one because I do want to talk about Amanda Seals. I kind of feel indifferent about her. Some days I like her, some days I don't.
Well, here, now go ahead into the redistricting one because I'm curious. I'm curious your thoughts now.
What in the blatant racism is going on? I mean, I'm used to blatant racism. I'm raised in the South, but god damn, if that wasn't the hugest fuck what y'all got going on. We building the votes for our next go round. We gonna cheat in front of your face, bitch. And we gonna cheat using your system too, bitch. That shit is killing me. I was like, yo, y'all cheating in our face? Yep. How you pre-cheat? That's a pre-cheat, ain't it?
Yeah.
Am I seeing this wrong? But I swear that's like a pre-cheat. You are literally rigging the game now.
Yeah. I mean, both sides have been rigging the game for a while, but like
they ain't never done it like this though.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. What we're seeing, everything we're seeing, none of it's new. It's just being put on like a bigger, dumber, more extreme level. It's like before, like they would try to like disguise it a little, and they're just not disguising nothing anymore.
No, it's not being disguised. They can't hide it at all. Like, damn, y'all can't even
Not
hide it.
Can't hide it. They're not trying to hide it. They're like, yo, I'm gonna do this in your face. This is almost like somebody playing like one-on-one, and he's like, yo, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this ball, I'm gonna go left, then I'm gonna hit you with a spin move, a crossover, and then I'm gonna lay it up with the left hand.
They were like, what? And then they did it. And then
they did it. Yeah. This is like Major Payne. Remember, he was like, I'm gonna put this foot on the side of your head. And then he punched him in the throat. He's like, you said you were gonna kick me. He's like, you calling me a liar?
Okay. Because are you calling me a liar, boy?
This is what we got going on. They just like, yo, I'm gonna do this shit in your face because I know there's nothing you can do about it.
And there's nothing you're going to do about it either.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, oh my God, what are they doing? Ruining the world. What the hell do you think they're doing? Tune in next week, guys. You can see what else they're gonna fucking ruin.
Yeah, so that's how I see it. They're just gonna do whatever the hell they want to. And
So California redistrict too. So Texas's redistricting gives you five extra Republicans, but
Yep.
it takes two black lady out. I can't remember what district she's in. I can't remember what district she's in. But it pretty much obsoletes her position altogether. And so that was the wildest way. Like, of course, I thought of it in reference to, like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They out here, like, redistricting things and shit. First thing I thought about was, like, damn, bitch, how they tell you get fired? How they fix their mouth to tell you, like, yeah, your services are no longer needed? What? We don't even need you to represent this district? What? That's crazy.
Hell, they locked one lady in the Capitol and made her stay there.
This is getting outrageous.
Either you're going to have the police follow you around or you're locked in here.
And she was like, yeah, all right, whatever. Tried to leave and got that ass yoked the hell up.
Yeah, it's crazy work.
I can't. This is. So I have a GoFundMe set up now. I'm playing. I was about to say where I'm trying to just leave and go to Belize. So if anybody wants to support my GoFundMe to leave to go to Belize, please.
So I got some of the clips. I think it will. I don't know why, but it looks like X is going to allow me to be able to show whatever clips.
Okay.
From Jubilee. So tell me when you want me to stop it. And let's see, which one do I want to start with? Let's see. Because you had different people where the conversation seemed a little bit more reasonable. Let's start with this dude because he kind of annoyed me. He kind of annoyed me the most.
Is it the 32-year-old that looks 56?
No, it's like the 19-year-old Angolan.
Oh, I don't even know why he's talking.
They don't complain and feel entitled.
Because I'm like, well, this is one thing I said. A lot of times with these black conservatives, you can do one of two things. Just start asking questions. Hey, so where are you from? Where'd you grow up? What are your parents?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll find out, oh, well, my parents, they moved here from Jamaica or the Bahamas, or you start finding out, or Nigeria, or you start finding out a lot of these black conservatives, a big chunk of them are either immigrants or children of immigrants. That's one of the first things. Another section of them, which I say this in my video also, which I'm going to show, is they typically tend to have grown up in I want to say more of a suburban kind of background. And then you have the other category where these people grew up in the hood, but they got themselves so far away from the hood that they have turned a blind eye to what they grew up in. And they think that their situation, that, I don't know, I'll just leave it at that, that they've gotten themselves away from the neighborhood and now they think that they're better than where they grew up. They turn a blind eye to a lot of the stuff they grew up in their hood and the circumstances to why people are in some of those situations, while a lot of times ignoring certain privileges, even though they grew up in a rough neighborhood, certain privileges that helped get them out of where they were, and just put it as I pulled myself up by my bootstraps.
No, you didn't. You survived and thrived off the backs of your parents pulling their bootstraps the fuck up. And I'm glad that you even said that these foreigners, I know you shouldn't say it like that because that sounds racist, but these foreign ass niggas that come when they have like these pre-existing like religion, a lot of their constructs are religious constructs which allow them to continue to be like, the white man ain't that bad. So then they get over here with this Catholic background of the white man ain't that bad, and then want to sit and talk to us about why the white man ain't bad.
And
I noticed that when it comes to Caribbeans and when it comes to West Indians, Caribbeans, anybody from like the African continent itself. That's exactly what I get from them.
So here, let me play this first kid and allow you to react to him.
Prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that Black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and
So we know her response, but and that's what I say. I don't have a problem with her response. I felt like she did a great job. It's another thing picking which arguments that you want to respond, because everything's on the clock. So you got to pick and choose. What I would say back to his response, and I don't know if you've been on TikTok, do you know who Amy Chen is?
No, I don't.
Well, Amy Chen is like a big time kind of like TikTok person who's kind of more on the liberal side.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that she brought up is she said a lot of the people who were Chinese Americans, she's like, now me, I'm the exception. I am a descendant of those Chinese Americans who were in the detention centers. But most of the Chinese Americans right now have nothing to do with that. Many of them came and they immigrated to America after that. So trying to compare and out of the Chinese Americans who are here, less than 10% of them come from the Chinese Americans who were in the detention camps. That's one thing that already makes it a false equivalent.
You know, we already talked about this shit already, Marcus, about these goddamn these Asians getting their reparations and then dipping off on us.
Well, what I'm saying is most of the Asian population which came in now are immigrants. They came in much later. This ain't the Chinese descendants who've been here since like the 1800s.
No,
these are people who got here like in the 90s. These are people who got here in maybe the 80s. They're not the same people who came back then. And then also, it's not factoring how many immigrants come in who are already skilled laborers. It's not talking about how many immigrants who come in who are already doing better than Black Americans when they get here. And so that's one thing which I feel like he didn't even he used something vague to not understand a complex story already. That was one of my frustrations with that kid. And also, like, I say more things about it, but I'll leave it there. Your thoughts on that argument he made?
I think it was a weak ass argument. You know, I already shot down that argument the first time I heard it a couple weeks back. I don't give a fuck. And not to mention, bitch, we're talking about conservative views and Black people. Don't bring nobody else in this situation. Stand on your business. Give me how many issues you got with us and why you feel that your views are right against us. This is me talking to Black conservatives, because at the end of the day, Black conservatives do not have the same mindset. And and same goes for Black liberals. Any Black person that's all the way over to a party, I can't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that you can be 100% on either one of these motherfuckers at the end of the day. And y'all done heard my voice change. Oh shit now. Preaching T done started talking. Because y'all got me chopped with this stupid shit. So no, I didn't like the fact, I never liked the fact when I talked to Black conservatives and the first thing they want to do is bring in Tom, Dick, and Harry. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about them. Don't bring them into the conversation. Because if they weren't here, where the fuck would you be able to stand on your business then?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear that. So I didn't like him at all. At all. And also, you an immigrant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have no business to stand on to even be thinking that you want to be a conservative and vote on our topics. Motherfucker, get your goddamn immigrant check and move around before ICE come and scoop you the fuck up. Cause you over here being a conservative and that same conservative motherfucker done deported your mama and your grandmama back home. Now what?
And
that bougie ass money ain't gonna save them now. All them degrees can't save them now.
Well, on top of the fact that he's not only children of an immigrant, he's an immigrant his damn self.
Yeah,
but
he's from Angola too. He came with them.
Yeah, but also when he came to America, do you know where he's from?
No.
He's from Maine.
Oh, the same place where they deported that Jamaican cop?
Yeah. How many black people are in Maine?
2, and they got rid of both of
And so this
them.
this little dude trying to talk about black culture when he don't live around it at all. He's not in the community at all. If he was at least living amongst black people, he can at least understand them. But he don't even live around black people or amongst black people. How can he speak on anything that goes on? That's one thing that really frustrated me about hearing any of his talking points that he was bringing up. Now I got to bring up Bubba from Forrest Gump for you.
The 32-year-old that looks 56.
Yeah,
Why
him.
does he look so old?
Cause that's Stinkmeyer's child. That's why.
Fought against slavery for people that had slaves.
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity, and we have equal opportunity in this.
One pushback that I got to say to him already. Say our ancestors weren't asking for handouts. Well, if you consider reparations handouts, our ancestors were asking for reparations or handouts. Martin Luther King was asking for reparations also.
Well, before you play it, pause. Bitch, you got a fucking nerve. Didn't the slavers ask for a handout? Bitch, it was us. We are the handout. They didn't do that work. We did. So what the fuck you mean? Nobody. What? I would have said that too. The white people asked for a handout. That's why we having the conversation we having right now.
I honestly like I heard what was his name? Young Don. And I like Young Don's response more than anything. He kept it on one thing and would not let anybody budge off of this topic. He said, if I do work for you and you do not pay me, you owe me money. This is period. If you do it, if I have a contract with somebody and I owe them money, I owe them money. The point blank period. That's it. Slavery was free labor. You got labor, you owe a price for the labor that you got. You don't just get to ignore it. I mean, I do like what Amanda brought up when she said, okay, so slavery was going on for 400 years. And so what, only about 100 years we've been able to ask for it? I mean, think about it. When could black people have asked for it? They couldn't ask for it right after slavery. No. That definitely wasn't going to happen. All the way up to the civil rights era, that wasn't, you couldn't demand it then. So when people are like, well, that was so long ago. Okay, but at what point could black people have gotten or asked for reparations that is deserved? And these people talking about a handout. No, it's not a handout. It is money that is owed. If you owe me money, I don't give a fuck how long it was ago that you owed me the money. You still owe me that goddamn money.
And okay, 2 parts to this. One, the first part is one of my favorites. You ever notice how the motherfucker that owe you bread always got an attitude about paying you back? Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's wild. And another thing that you're saying is like, when is a good time for us to ask for my shit back? When is a good time? It's never a good time when the person you asking for your shit back get an attitude because you want your shit back. I don't give a fuck if it was $5, $500. I want my motherfucking shit. But then we go, well, when can you ask? Never. We're still asking to not be shot in the street like dogs.
I'm like, Till, I got a question for you. Let's say you have a son. Your son grows up, whatever, and they found out, oh, wait a minute, Till didn't pay this. You passed away. Your son is about to pass away and inherit the property that you had. Do you think they're going to be like, nah, to your grandson who takes over, that they can't, that, oh, well, the debt is over with. You don't have to pay the government the taxes that Till owed on this property. Bullshit. The government's still going to ask for their fucking money. So if the government can ask for money after you passed on and ask your kids for that money back, if say a parent dies in a car accident, or if a family member dies in a car accident, doesn't the family sue and they're the ones who are the benefactors of that cash, that settlement?
Hey, I got something even better for you. When you die, Your kids and shit you're gonna talk to Medicaid because all them bills you incurred on that Medicaid get passed down. Look at me. My mama was on Medicaid for almost a decade, bro. Them bitches tried to send me a $4 million bill. $4 million bill. 10 years worth of medical advice. I looked at that bill. I sent it. I sent it to my brother. I said, bro, look at this. He was like, damn, sis, is that like the projected value? He thought it was my fucking budget for my job. That's how many commas and shit. That's how much they had. Bro, I had a packet, a manila envelope full of bills, pages, and it tallied up to $4 million. What the fuck? And then they had the nerve to send me a letter to say, do you by chance know this person or anybody? I was like, nah, I don't even know that lady. I ain't never seen that lady a day in my life. So that's exactly what y'all saying. So if the government and the insurance people knew that, they gonna want their bread, right? So it's okay for the insurance company to ask for theirs, but it's not cool for me to ask for mine. That's crazy as a bitch to me. That's backwards. And I don't like working backwards.
Yep. I mean, it's the same thing of if we're able to trace back that your family got money through slavery in any shape, form, fashion, that money shouldn't be able to be passed down to you then. That money got to stop. How you get to receive the money, but I don't get to receive mine.
Oh, bitch, JG Wentworth in this bitch. I want my money and I want it now.
I want my money and I want it now.
JG motherfucking Wentworth, bitch. Because if I found out that the people that own my family had a business, bitch, that's mine. You probably my descendant anyway. You might have raped my auntie or some stupid shit. We related.
No.
That part. That's another part. We probably freaking related.
Yeah, so I don't like that talk that he was saying, but let's get back in.
I'll
play a little bit more of a Bubba for you.
Country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president and we had a black vice president. I think she.
What the fuck that got to do with anything? That don't translate the money in my pocket. Shut your fooling ass up.
So, yeah, a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people. Because you can't win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's get off this thing where Americans so racist. What's making America so racist is people.
Let me stop his point from right there because wasn't he talking about reparations at first?
Yeah, now we talking about how white people made.
Now he's talking about how white people, like, he built a whole straw man argument about a whole bunch of other shit instead of staying linear on his point. Now, if I was Amanda, that's where I would have jumped on and stopped. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Now you're jumping to another subject. Let me answer what you just talked about before you move on to some other bullshit. And that's what I talked about some of these people who come in here and they have these talking points. And he came in rattling off talking points. You don't get to just skip to the next thing without me responding. You're not going to lay out 5 or 6 things and then I get time to respond to one. That's not how we're going to do this.
No.
And when he started bringing up, well, Obama was this and that, for one, that has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. That's irrelevant, completely irrelevant. And just because you had a black president, just because you have somebody who's of our skin complexion, who represents the country, that has literally nothing to do with anything. Also, the fact of Obama is half white.
You ain't hear that second point?
Kamala also is half. So how is that?
When he said white people made it so that he's saying it in a reference of, well, you got to be part white to make it somewhere in here. That's what I heard. Did you? I heard that. Y'all ain't hear that part? You got to be part white to make it. So you got to have some Caucasian in you to make shit shake in this country any fucking way. I heard him loud and fucking clear with that comment. And the other thing that gets me is outside of this old master's great ass mentality, you sitting here talking about well, you had a black president and a black vice president. Well, I wouldn't want you to be president because you're not representing my kind either. So what the fuck that got to do with the price of tea in China?
I mean, he's talking about a black president when Black Lives Matter became a major thing under Obama. That's during Trayvon Martin. That's when it became a big thing. So just because a so-called air quotes black president was in there, it did not change anything for black people. So what are you talking about? Like your whole argument makes no sense. It's what? So you went from black people want handouts for slavery to white people aren't racist. Did anybody even ask you about white people being racist? Why did you feel the need to make that argument when that wasn't even brought up? That tells me more about him as a person. That you feel this need to go and defend something that's not even being brought up.
Yes, Yonina. He does not. Neither one of them passed the paper bag test, Bookie. They don't. Neither one of them passed the paper bag test. And yes, Ross Mama, you're absolutely right. Him bringing up both of those people have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. They are not descendants of any person that's sitting here on this panel currently, or they are not the descendants of anybody. Like, when I tell you the government knew how to tell us to shut the fuck up, man, they told us to shut the fuck up. They was like, hey, he kind of looked like y'all though. That's as much as we can do. That's the best we got.
Yep.
Look, we'll get him a birth certificate, okay? But that's as much as we can do. Be happy or shut the fuck up. You want Bush back? You know what? Never mind. I'd rather not have. All right, now. You pick your poison between the two hard R's.
Because even if people bring up, oh, his father Kenyan, blah blah blah, whatever, his mama still is white as can be American. So, yeah. I mean, leave that. I mean,
American. Swear she was Jewish too.
I wasn't going there, but you get, you know.
I was about to say because she looked just like Drake mama.
I mean, like, and he grew up with those white grandparents in Kansas and in Hawaii. So let's get back to Bubba's talking points. Because him in particular, I wanted to go through and bit by bit go after his. Because he just spouted off it's like a conservative checklist of bullshit to say. That's what he went through. You could tell this isn't original thought from him. This is just, I heard it on Fox News and whatever right-wing content creators I listen to, and they all say this. I mean, it's literally like one of them gave him like a little cheat sheet for him to go, and he studied this. And he probably did have to study this. He don't look very bright. But let's continue.
Continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have this liberal mindset are infecting our communities, Black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for.
Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name.
Okay. This whole victim mentality, Victor, this is a big thing which right-wingers love to use. I hate this I hate this because if you're a victim is a reality. It's not a mentality. If you're abused by somebody, you are a victim. If you get punched in the face and the police show up, you're being written down as the victim, no matter how you mentally see yourself. This is like the right's weird way. This is their weird pronoun argument. A victim is a status that you're in. It's not a mentality. Just because something happens to you, it doesn't stop you from doing things. But to try to pretend that what happened to you didn't happen to you is delusion. And this whole our people didn't have a victim mentality. Yeah. Talking about what happened to you does not mean that's a victim mentality. It's just explaining something that happened. It's admitting fact. You trying to erase it and say, I have a victor's mentality. It's just bullshit. You're just spinning bullshit. Sorry, on you, Till. What do you think?
No. This motherfucker was spitting bullshit from the jump street. I hated him.
Yeah.
I hated him. His points were okay. Just on a debate thing, his points were not concise. He was all over the place. It felt like all he wanted to do was say the most outlandish, semi-racist shit he could possibly say, and then like in his little bit of time frame. I don't think he even came together with good points. Who's picking these people, by the way?
That's a great question.
Exactly. Because who the fuck picked this fucking fat neck shrimp eating? I show like, man, get the fuck out of here. Just got free head ass. That's what you sound like. You sound like you just got some freedom. You sound like you real close to the plantation still. Sound like you might go the fuck back.
This sounds just like if probably Bubba and Steven had a baby.
Steven! I'm sorry.
So that, I mean, he had more points, but let's go on to another one because he was the one who infuriated me the most. Let me show one of these ones which I didn't say. I know I didn't say anything about in particular in my TikTok post because I guess he got on here. He had a whole bunch to say. Oh wow! I wish I can show you this picture.
Send it to me on Instagram. I want to see it.
Oh wow! This is on TikTok. I mean not TikTok. X. Remember the one who had the mustache looking like he's Bass Reeves?
Yes.
I just seen a picture of his family. I'm not surprised. That's all I'll say about him. Let me keep it moving. Let me find the next one. Let me find the next one to show. And then I'll play, actually, as a little break in between, let me just play mine overall so you can hear what I had to say. So this was my video that I did, and you guys can go and check out my TikTok. If you're not subscribed to it, please go and check it out. Give me some support.
Please go follow us. Please.
But here it is. After watching this debate with tremendous, come on.
Believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and work.
This debate with Tremendous Hill did against the 20. Sorry, I got tongue tied. It came out Tremenda. I had to definitely weigh in because a lot of things that have been said are points that really clicked and keyed into things that I've noticed and observed over time, dealing with conservatives and Black conservatives in particular. This young man, I don't want to go ahead and mock him because of his heavy Southern accent, but I'm gonna just say, people from the South, especially Black people from the South, he's a bad look. Y'all need to scoop him up. This whole phrase and this whole mentality of conservatives believe in work and other people don't and whatever. How would other people survive in this world if they weren't out working? It's just a nonsensical phrase that I hear conservatives say all the time. There are plenty of people around you who are non-political, apolitical, who are liberals, who are communists. All these people have jobs. You need a job to survive. So this mentality of conservatives believe in work. Everybody believes in work. You've got to work to live in this society. Everybody's not living off the government. Everybody's not living on somebody's couch. So that mentality, that thinking is just idiotic in the first place. But another thing that I want to say, which it's a telltale giveaway, which you can tell with a lot of conservatives, especially Black conservatives in particular. A lot of these Black conservatives fall into a couple of different categories. Many of them are either immigrants themselves or descendants of immigrants, so they don't have any connection or tie to the struggle or things that have went on. They don't have any connection to this. So it's a different vantage point. It's one thing to read a history book, but like that one young kid who was in there who is from Angola, his family's from Angola, and he lives in Maine and talking about Black people this and Black people that and King Von this, and I don't even listen to King Von. There's a lot of Black people who don't listen to none of this garbage ass music. And there's a lot of Black people who do listen to some of this garbage ass music and who are doing well. Music is not indicative of your status or where you are going to be and what you're going to do in life. Also, a lot of these hip hop artists that a lot of people talk about, it's the culture, it's the culture, it's the culture. It's not only Black people listening, everybody's listening to this type of music. plenty of people throughout many different demographics listen to all different types of music. That is not an indication of your behavior. What I feel is a big telltale to notice a lot of times with most of these black conservatives is a lot of times is socioeconomic. Uh, Many of them either they've had a parent or somebody who was done well. Like I can hear some of the ones where there's just this disconnect. I don't feel like it's nefarious. I don't feel like they really have an extra grind or it's on some self-hatred necessarily. But the one in San Diego, when I heard him talk about his grandfather went through this and then went through the military, I know that he more than likely got some form of military assistance or GI Bill to help him after he got out of the military. And that lifestyle in San Diego, away from the deep South, also influenced that kid's parents to influence him and helped him be set on a different track to further his education and put him in a different socioeconomic station so that he can have a better chance at life and have more of an equal opportunity. I think that, for instance, the young girl who was talking about growing up in Chicago and having her family members, be taken off this earth early through violence. I think that actually, let me stop that because I was kind of going on a little bit of a tangent. I kind of wanted to stop it so you can kind of get in any kind of points that you want to push back on or add to what I had already said.
Sorry, I'm eating too.
Oh, no, it's fine. So, yeah, just let me know if there's any areas that I was saying in there that you wanted to push back on or add to or whatever.
I don't think I want to push back on anything because we got the same views with these weird people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then I'll just let it play, and then if there's any area you want to jump in, let me know, and I'll stop it.
No, you right on the money so far. Go ahead.
All right. Deep emotional, traumatic things like that, when they happen to you, that also, though it is negative and horrific, and I'm sad to hear that happened, can be a motivating force to tell you, whatever I do, I can't stay in this area. I got to get out of here for my own self-preservation. And sometimes that motivation to get you out of that situation is a different motivation that other people don't have. They might not have that battery in their back. Something also that I've talked about many times, which I feel a lot of conservatives don't get, when you live in certain other areas, living in a certain area is definitely indicative on your track into life. If you live in a rural town where the whole town takes care of everybody in this family environment or whatever, you have many people to rely on to help you in many different ways. You have many different outlets, whether that is somebody who is teaching you something, give you an opportunity on a job, or just giving you financial information. All of these different things make a difference. When you're isolated, a lot of times in these different cities, you may or may not have those different things. Myself personally, my mother's parents grew up, they dropped out of school at a very, very early age because they had to go back to the farm sharecropping. My family can recount stories of racism and you said pause it?
Yeah, pause it real quick.
Uh-huh.
So we both seen Sinners, right?
Yeah.
And what you're really literally talking about, remember that scene in Sinners when Choir Boy, I don't know why I call that boy Choir Boy. That's
Preacher Boy.
Preacher Boy was in the back seat talking to his cousins. His cousins was like, oh, I want to move out of Mississippi so bad. I want to come up there to Chicago with you. What did they tell him? Chicago ain't shit but Mississippi with tall buildings and no plantation. Okay? That right there, man, that was such a deep sentence in so many ways. That's the same thing when we're dealing with these red parties, blue parties. It's literally these same motherfuckers. Different tie. That's it. Different color. Repping a different set. You ever wonder why the Bloods and the Crips got the same colors as them? I wonder. Anyway, what you're talking about in reference to that mindset is like, if you've never got off the plantation, of course you're not going to think anything wrong with it.
Yep.
Of course. And if you do find And if you do find the gumption to say, oh, all right, I'm finna leave this plantation, when you come back, you got so many motherfucking black people that sound like this bubble gump ass motherfucker. And when you try to tell them, hey, it's better to be free than to be here, these motherfuckers will look at you like you crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. They're like, what? You want to leave Massa House? We get fed. Y'all get beat. Y'all get beat. That's just what it is. Okay, you can go ahead and play it again. Sorry, I just had to bring up that centers topic because it made me think of centers when you started talking about that, and I was like, nah, this is it insane.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing about a lot of conservatives. They don't look at anything that happened in their life on why they were able to be successful against the odds to why other people around them might not have been successful. Like, for instance, me personally, I know that even though my grandparents dropped out of school and like my grandfather dropped out in the 2nd grade, my grandmother dropped out in the 9th grade. But all their kids graduated high school. They had 8 kids, all graduated high school. And more than half of them went to college. Plenty of people I grew up with, that's not what happened with them. They didn't have a bunch of college educated people pushing them to higher degrees. They didn't have an uncle who was in the military and showing them other parts of the world. They didn't get to travel and see all of these different things to open up their mind to all these other possibilities. Some of them grew up, born and raised in Kansas City and never left any of that area. All they know is that city. They don't know anything else outside of the blocks they grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been taught anything. They haven't been showed that there's any other options out there. And like that one girl, which I'm talking about here, she alluded to it in there. Now, I don't know for a fact that she's an immigrant, but it sounded like she was saying that her family's Nigerian. Because she started talking about Nigeria in there, which I caught that, which, of course, like I said, in a debate, you don't always have the time to question every single person. But if that girl's talking about she grew up, her mom was a single mom who was pushing herself to do this and do that. Well, what was in your mom's what battery was put in your mom's back to put that fire under her so that she was going to push for more? You got that example watching how your mom was moving, and that helped you propel into where you are now. What happens if the people around you, everybody around them is gangbangers and drug addicts? What role model do they have?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people don't factor that in. Like, I remember this one kid I grew up with, and I would have these conversations with him, and he'd talk about stuff which his parents would teach him about business and finance and budgeting. That I'm looking at him like, you do realize what you're talking about is not normal, right? Every kid doesn't grow up with a parent who understands about corporate margins and things like that to teach their kids. And so you're getting knowledge that's helping put you on a better track. And you don't realize other kids around you aren't getting that. So you look at it as, I don't get why they can't do what I'm doing, because you're getting training that they're not getting.
They can't believe it. They can't do what I do. You can't believe it. Ask T-Pain, because I can.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, here, I'll get back into it and play a little bit more of my thoughts, because I kind of just, with TikTok, I think it was a 10-minute max. So I try to hit on as much of them as I could in that period of time. And I did this on, I think, Monday, or that Monday or Tuesday after I saw this.
Right after it dropped. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right after it dropped, before I heard more information on X that I'm hearing now. Oh boy, it's hilarious. But here we go. Oh yeah, let me know if you want me to stop again.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Different things have affected us directly. I can recount stuff that has happened to me directly, and so when I hear this young kid in there talk about, well, we haven't experienced anything, bitch, speak for yourself. The fact that you're also from Maine, don't try to speak on what Black people are going through in other areas, especially when you're Angolan. You do not represent Black Americans. And that same girl from Chicago, she represents Nigerians. And she'll say, well, in Nigeria, they don't do this and this and that. Have you not heard of Afro beats and some of the community and culture and stuff that's going on that's very representative and similar to the same stuff you would see in Chicago? Have you not heard about the crime and violence that you see in Nigeria? But what it is they get over here and they judge the people who are in the lower socioeconomic status in our country, people who are struggling in our country as far as the Black community, and then gauge and grade the whole Black community on the people who are not doing as well. We don't do that a lot of times with most other groups. We don't sit there and go to little Chinatown in San Francisco and look at the Asian gangs and look at those Asian gangs as a representation of the Asian community. We don't go out to West Virginia and the backwoods of Arkansas or something like that and make that a representation of white people. So I don't get why Black conservatives and white conservatives in general, why a lot of people like to look at the people who are the most struggling in our community and make that as a representation of all of the Black culture and community. You have Black people who are middle class, you have Black people who are multimillionaires, you have Black people who are entrepreneurs, you have Black people who are billionaires. And of course, you have Black people who are criminals also. No different than any other group of people. All of them have that. And what you will see, like these people who try to put it on, oh, it's Black culture, that the crime and criminal, whatever. That's not true. What you will see, look worldwide, wherever you have poverty, you will have criminality. In an area where you have more poverty, you have more of a possibility of criminality. Now, I'm not saying that that's the sole reason why there's crime, especially in the Black community. I also believe if you police a certain area, you're going to get results. If you look in a certain area, you're going to get certain things. Now, if you don't police certain areas, then obviously you're going to miss some things too. So it doesn't mean that these other areas don't have crime going on in them. It also is, if they were policed in the same way, who knows what the statistics will say, but they're not policed in the same way. So you can't even make this argument that, oh, the crime is so much worse over here. You don't know. Perfect example, in my hometown, we had a whole bunch of fires and stuff that were going off all over the suburbs. That's the only way they figured out where all this meth stuff was going on, is the fire department had to tell the police, yo, the problem is over here. Quit going through the trailer parks, the hoods, the barrios, all that stuff like that. Go look over here in the suburbs, this area where you guys do not look. And so that's the reason why when you'll say some of these stats can be slanted in different ways, that's a good example of it. And you notice that one conservative in the suit, how he wanted to tap dance away from this once she started to go in and give examples. In closing, so I don't have very much more time. What I will say is, a lot of these conservatives that can be summed up in a couple of different ways. A lot of times immigrants, a lot of times people who have had situations where now they have gained some kind of frustration against the community and went away from it, or people who grew up kind of middle class or upper middle class and are kind of privileged. And that is normally the anatomy of a Black conservative. Shout out to Jubilee for doing this. And for those people who say that they shouldn't keep doing this because it's negative, nonsense. If you don't shine light on things, you don't see them. And it leaves an environment where we get ignorant of these type of people. And when you run across them, now you're going to be all shocked and, oh my God, clutching your pearls. Everybody needs to see these types of people.
That's
Even
hard work.
Stop.
Good job.
But yeah, that was my clip.
Good job.
Oh,
Good
thank you.
takeaways. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it was more. I probably could have did a part 2 on it, but like that one Black conservative who was in the suit, what he decided to do is once she started bringing out specific examples of how they tilt stats, then he tried to like back away and run away from it. No, you just didn't want her to debunk you.
Yeah, and she was about to mop you the fuck up.
And it shows when a person actually cares about the facts and when a person has an agenda. And I believe that kid has an agenda. I mean, perfect example. You're talking about, oh, well, they just need a father in the home. Well, what happened with that story we brought up about Emmanuel Haro? What happened with that? Now we got a little child missing.
Dead. That baby dead.
Yeah. So So just because a father's in the home, that don't always mean that that's going to make the kid safer. That doesn't mean the kid's going to necessarily grow up better. I grew up without a father in the home, and I'm doing better than a lot of kids who had both their parents. So what does that mean? This conservative arguing about, well, that the black family just need two parents in the home. Here's another thing. While black conservatives love to focus on the negatives of our community, Till, how many black Americans is it in America?
How many? Child, I don't know. We're 5%.
Well, I think we're a little higher than that. I think we're around 12%. So last number I heard was we're around 40, 43, 44 million that identify as black Americans. Now, granted, I'm sure some of them are immigrants and this and that, whatever. Do you know what the prison population is total for black Americans?
No, but I know we're like 70%.
Yeah,
76%.
yeah, but I'm saying if you go to raw numbers, what's the actual percentage of black people who are in prison?
I don't know.
It's roughly about 400,000.
Jesus.
So 400,000 out of 44 million. That means that the percentage of black population which is in prison is less than 1%. So black conservatives and conservatives in general focused on the negatives of the black community when it represents less than 1%.
I mean, we I don't know. People don't want to hear it, but we always get the shortest end of the stick, man.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody focuses on the black people who are in prison or black people who are on welfare or you see this hood black girl on a video acting ratchet. Y'all focus on that, but y'all not talking about the black family where it's a husband, wife in the home, kids. They pay their taxes. They live in a nice neighborhood, decent house, and they're going taking their kids to soccer and volleyball and all that shit. You're not talking about that. You're not talking about this black inventor who's creating stuff. Shout out to the young black kid who's repurposing the plastic
that we thought was dead for a second. Jesus,
yeah,
he was worried.
But that's what I'm saying. They ain't talking about none of that. They're not talking about the older black guy who opens up a rec center so young black kids could be able to have some place to go after school.
Shout out Tyrod Taylor. He did
exactly.
That in our city. He did that in our city. Rebuilt their entire YMCA building. Somebody do that in Petersburg, because I just found out that Petersburg, even though we have a black mayor, he's definitely taking all the money and not giving no grocery stores back. And that was part of the contract of us getting a casino in Petersburg. So fuck that guy.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all not talking. I mean, like I'm pretty sure they have a lot of cities, but I remember in Kansas City, you had what was it? The Black Chamber of Commerce, which is all these different black businesses and banks and stuff set up to help black entrepreneurs. We don't want to talk about none of the stuff that's going on as far as anything positive for black people. And that's one thing that pisses me off more about conservatives than anything. Why? In fact, you don't even have to talk about no black liberals or no black radicals. Talk about black conservatives and more than just fucking Candace Owens or Ben Carson.
Oh my God, he's still alive.
Yeah,
Ben still with us. Jesus, if anybody needs to die.
Well, I mean, he basically talks like he's halfway there.
Well, I mean, Donald got to go first, and then Ben. I just want Donald to beat Ben, to be honest.
Actually, I would rather see Larry Elder right after him. And wait a minute,
right after Trump. Nah, what's old boy from South Carolina?
I know you're talking about.
I need his old ass to go right after Trump, and then Ben. Matter of fact, just take them all out. Once Trump go, let them all go. Ain't that how gay lovers and lovers do? Like when your spouse die, you die right after. Come on now. Ain't y'all got some shit to do?
Clyburn. That's what you talking about.
Yeah. Oh, crusty.
Oh well, if you talking,
Mitch, no, it's Mitch. It's Mitch McConnell who I want dead after Trump.
you're talking about him. Oh, he's Kentucky.
He's Kentucky. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I get him in South Carolina mixed up so damn much. Yes, Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch, old shaking ass.
Well,
Shake
then
that ass right to hell.
I'm ready for whatchamacallit to go right after that. What's his name? Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas.
Oh my. Oh, I take that back. I'm sorry, Ben Carson. I didn't want Ben to die. I'm sorry, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry if I put your ass in jail.
Ben went back into like private life, so I'm fine with him over
Yeah,
there.
Ben's out the way. That's who it is. What's his name? Carlson?
Clarence Thomas.
Thomas. Clarence. So it needs to be Trump, Mitch, Clarence in that order.
Byron Donaldson. Yeah, honorable mention, Byron Donaldson.
That's a great honorable mention.
And what's the other one out of South Carolina? Tim Scott. There's a whole bunch of y'all. Y'all can go. I mean, I don't care if you're young or old at this point. Vivek Ramaswamy, you can jump on the bandwagon too.
Like I said,
Marco Rubio, you can go too. Pelosi, you could go too. Chuck Schumer, you could go too.
Pelosi out the way ever since she got the kneeling like Kaepernick with the kente shit on.
Mm-hmm.
Who let her wear kente?
Another one I want to see gone. Cory Booker, you could go too. If it's up to me, boy, Congress will just get emptied out.
In one day.
Emptied out. I mean, can we get another Titanic for all y'all to ride on? And we will find the iceberg.
Shit, I'll build one. The way that y'all like to build that damn wall down there in Texas. Bitch, just build an iceberg and put them on a boat.
That's what I'm saying. So we can empty out about a good, a good 70% of the whole political class, as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, easily a good 70% that I feel like, no, yeah, you warranted. Now, I mean, it's warranted in your case. Now, some of y'all, I don't like you, but you ain't showed your evil horns yet. You still a little, you baby evil. You haven't became Dr. Evil yet. But I mean, and then I'm trying to think of which other ones on there.
Like
Which other ones on the Jubilee that I'm trying to remember that? It was one, he made me mad because he didn't try. He jumped up. He was almost at the chair every single time, but never got up there. I wanted to hear the rocker looking one. I want to hear what stupid shit was going to come out of his mouth. Oh, the one in San Diego. That was another thing I wanted to bring up about him. When he's like, well, I just want to get why Democrats in California, why most of them go to the Democratic Party and they won't vote for me. They're not going to vote for you because of your views, your viewpoints. As long as you keep spouting the stuff you're spouting, don't think that they're going to hop on your bandwagon. And this is something that I'll say to Black conservatives in general, or just conservatives. You're literally not offering anything. You're not even pretending to offer anything. You're basically saying your only thing you're giving is advice. That's their whole political standard. Hey, well, maybe the woman you get knocked up, maybe you just need to marry her. Maybe you guys need to have a 2-parent household. Maybe you need to work harder. That's all you got is advice. I don't need you in office then. If all you got is advice.
You ain't got no ways to help me with this
situation? You have literally no ways you're going to help me. Just give me advice.
I mean, I just told somebody the other day, some of my views. I warned somebody before they decided to get on, watch our podcast or any of my podcasts. I just said, you gotta understand, my mouth is crazy. As my brother says, I'm never wrong, but sometimes I don't need to say the shit that comes to my brain. I had another woman from my dancing group, an older woman. She told me, she said, T, I think it's so fun. She was like, you just be having me giggle so much on your Facebook page. She said, but you just be saying the things that people think about, they don't say. And I said, well, I say it because I want people to know that they're seen. So when I say things like, women shouldn't have had rights, it's not that I don't think that it's a cool fucking thing to be, you know what I'm saying? But we're still not fucking equal.
No.
You gave us rights for no fucking reason. And my brother was like, sis, you can't go out in the streets and say that. Fuck that. Yes, I can. I'm a bitch and I don't want them. Why? Because I still have to nurture my children and keep them alive. I still have to do spousal duty. I still got to do spousal duty and take care of my husband. You know what I'm saying? Those two things never get negated. I still have to do the things that a woman has to do just to be a woman. And then you want to go ahead and slap on rights, and now I have to work a 40-hour a week for a check just to suffice.
Well, that's the thing which a lot of people don't understand. This whole feminism thing,
It's dumb.
all that was a guise to get you to coerce women into making
Workforce.
two income households so
Yeah,
they can raise prices. That's all that
yes,
was about. It
yes,
had nothing to do with rights. It was
no.
about how can we make more profits. Oh, well, we'll get these women to feel like they're missing out on something, not coming to work.
And they ain't missing out on shit. Because at the end of the day, if your nigga still gets handsy, you still get knocked between that washer and the dryer after pulling an 8-hour to 10-hour shift.
Mm-hmm.
You know how blown I am about that? Like, really think about it, guys. Bitches have to work, take care of the household, and might still get their ass beat like it's the 1920s. I would prefer not to have to go to work if I got to deal with all of that. Work would be the first thing I take off my list. Now, part two of why I say, why did y'all even give us rights? All of that. Okay, you heard all of that shit, and you still haven't made a way for women to be able to advance themselves, so at least they might even be able to get 70% of what their male counterparts make.
Which I think that's also a misnomer too.
That's
The reason why I say it's a misnomer, because if you look at it, a lot of women who work in the office make more than a lot of the men around them. Now, how they make it seem different is because there's a lot more of the men who are in the higher percentage, who are in the higher positions. And so because they put the men in charge of the boardroom, because you go into most of the admin departments, it's full of women. And the admin is where the money is being made now.
Mm-hmm.
Where admin didn't used to be higher paying.
No.
The guy who used to get out there and be in the heat doing all that work was the one who was getting paid.
The money,
Like
niggas in the coal mines and shit.
Coal mines, construction. That used to be where you made money. You don't make money doing construction now. Dude, when I was growing up, trash men used to get paid. They don't get paid now. Like I'll tell you, now that I'm in admin, a lot of women are getting paid a whole lot better than I realized.
Hello.
I'm like,
I'm in
oh,
admin
shit.
too. I'm in admin too, and I'm enjoying myself. Y'all can't tell me to get the fuck out of here. Y'all should have been telling me to do this a while ago.
It said Asian women. Pittsburgh dude said Asian women are the top earners in the U.S. It makes sense.
I was about to say, my man, I had to stop and think. I wasn't being quiet because you was wrong, nigga. I just had to think. Like, you might have ate with that statement. You ain't lying.
Mm-hmm. Well, what it is when you really break it down, because I remember I broke down all the different categories. Asian women per capita do make the highest amount per capita. But what happens is the reason why it gets overshadowed because there's a whole lot more Asian men in high income job fields, as in coding and all that stuff. It's just a lot more men. So it warps that number because a lot more Asian men are working in these higher paid fields. You're not seeing when you look at like the numbers, these job numbers and stuff. It's not like a whole lot of Asian men who are out there working as janitors and stuff. Most of these Asian men are coming in. They're working in the tech industry, making good money, working in banking, working in things like that. They're not out here, out here welding boilers and stuff. They're not doing the trades.
Mm-mm.
They're not out there being merchant marines and stuff. The majority of them are going into these higher paid work fields, working remote and stuff like that.
Ugh, don't get me on the working remote, bitches.
Plenty of them are working in some kind of trading assets and advisors and stuff shit like that. Insurance and things like that. They're not selling homes. They're not out there, out there getting dirty. And then right after that, white men are next highest because a lot of white men are a lot of the executives.
Yeah. But if we really talking about it, I mean, the way that things are going, a lot of these hard working trades is not getting paid out how they used to either. Because, like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I got you. Y'all know me and my
well,
hoes. I have a tendency of either getting with men in the military or getting niggas with trades, like welders or,
I can tell you, like, perfect example, you brought that up. When I lived in Jacksonville, they used to tell them, "Yo, we don't need no more welders. You're a dime a dozen. We got way too many welders out
Yep.
here." And so they're not paying as well out there. Now, if them same dudes hopped on a plane and flew out here to California, they can come out here and get some bread. And sometimes some of these fields just make a difference on where you live. Like an architect don't make nothing in Florida, but an architect can move to some like KC, Chicago, and make bread. So sometimes it's the trade and where you live makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When you start breaking it down, it's like Asian men and women are still towards the top. White men are high up here, and then white women drop way down. White women drop like the difference between what white men and white women make, it's a huge disparity. And then like right after white women, then you have black women narrowly behind them. Then you have Hispanic women, and then you have black men, and then Hispanic men after that. And between black men and black women and Asian men and I mean not Asian, but black men and black women and Hispanic men and women, the disparity is not very much. Like black women make a little bit more per capita than black men do. And the same thing with Hispanic. Well, actually, no, sorry, it's reverse. Hispanic men make more than Hispanic women, but it's only slightly. And that's because of places like California. Actually, I just say the West Coast in general. The West Coast and places like Texas. Because once you start getting to a lot of the other areas, it's a little bit different. That's where the drop off comes. Because you start getting out to California, as far as Hispanic men and women, you got all the way ones who are from Section 8 all the way up to who are literally on billboards all over the place owning their own insurance companies and stuff. So you got the full gambit, and you got it in the millions of people. Whereas the black population in LA, it'll blow your mind, Teal. What do you think the black population in LA is percentage wise?
15.
Nope.
What is it?
5.
Jesus. I think these numbers are fucked up because they say the same thing for Colorado. And I can see 5% for the state of Colorado. 5% for LA.
Yeah, I can tell you. I'm telling you how much I drive around. You don't see a lot of black people everywhere. You'll see one here, there, a couple of areas, like even the areas that are traditionally known as black areas. And the reason why is because a lot of black people, as it's gotten more expensive, they moved the hell out of here. They're moving to Arizona, they're moving to Nevada, they're moving to Oregon, Seattle, or other places. Even Florida, California, Texas, they're moving out of here. Now, what you have, what was I about to say? Now, up in the Bay Area, like Oakland, that's a different story. You got like 25%. But LA, nope.
That's insane.
Uh-huh. Like I would never imagine that the percentage of black people in KC is higher than down here. No, granted, because there's so many more people. I mean, there's 18 million people in LA's metro. So it still leaves a lot more black people than you would have in Kansas City just because of the sheer numbers. We're comparing a metro of 18 million versus a metro of about 3.2 million. But the black population percentage wise is like 32% in KC. And for black people and for I'll just say for people who don't know statistically, anytime you have like 30%, actually I'll say when you have over 25% black population in any city, that's a high per capita. Being that the nation average is like 12, 13%. Now, if you're in one of those areas where it's 60, 70% of black people, just know you're in a very unique area. You're in a very unique city. Like, I'll give you an example. Do you know that Atlanta is considered a place to have a heavy black population, right?
Yeah, they call that Black Hollywood, Black Excellence, all the above.
Atlanta is probably like 25, 30%.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of sad.
DC is like 35%. Like one of the blackest major cities that you're gonna have is like Baltimore.
True child, that motherfucker right there.
Now Baltimore is like 50, 60%. I think anywhere from 60 might be a little high.
See, I think it has everything to do with how much mass you have, like how much land mass there, like because that 5% in Colorado is noticeable. 5% in Cali, I can't see that.
Well, but you got to remember, it's concentrated. Where is that 5%?
Where are they? Yeah, you're right. Where are they? LA, maybe San Diego around the military bases. I'm assuming. I'm thinking these are around military installations. So I'm thinking San Diego. I met the most black people saying they came from San Diego than anything.
It's a lot in San Diego, but like even places like Compton that would have been 90% black like 20 years ago are now like 50% black, 45% black.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Like the places that had the heaviest black populations, a lot of those black people moved out. And a lot of that has to do with how expensive it is to live in this area. People are just like, you know what? Fuck it. I can go to Vegas and be able to live a little bit better, be able to get me a condo or something.
Lies. Can't do that shit. That shit's expensive as a bitch.
Well, now, it's gotten that way. It wasn't always that way though. And I think it's gotten that way because all the people from Cali moving out there. Now that's happening to Arizona and New Mexico. Because all the people who are flooding out of these areas. But that's all I got. Just wanted to go into it a little bit for y'all. But I don't know. You got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Blunt Force Wisdom tomorrow on the Rock Fin. I don't think there's anything else is really going on in my life. I'm just chilling like a villain. So no, that's everything.
Okay, and then we will get with y'all and tell y'all when we make the switch, and we'll coordinate that so y'all know. At least y'all know at least a week before when we make the switch back to Saturday night. But yeah, that's all I got for now. And it's been a Political Matrix. I'm your host, Marcus Morpheus Cage, here with the lovely Teal, Miss Voodoo Princess herself.
Woo! See y'all next Sunday.
All righty. Peace.